sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuff and things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
From a right now perspective, if you look at the teams that are playing at a level that will be in the playoffs in the AFC, the teams that jump out are Buffalo, Indianapolis, firmly believe Kansas City's going to get there, Jacksonville. They're all a little bit more run-centric than they are pass-centric. Now, Kansas City kind of on that line. This for Baltimore, on the outside of looking in playoff-wise right now, I don't think it does anything for their run defense, which has been an issue.
Yeah.
Their secondary has been a problem as well. I don't know if it changes that much.
Really quick.
That last face. It's that last face. That's the one, right? Like, that's the last one that you just, I don't know. Hi, good morning. That's courtesy of ESPN. It is Glenn Clark Radio. I'm starting to worry that allergies kicked in for me last night, which is always a fun part of my year. I love that. It's not like I have 4 more hours of radio to do Friday morning, then a football game Friday night, and then soccer on Saturday, and 3 more of these shows to do in between those two things. Not like I'm going to need my voice.
Well, there's good news
for any of that. What's that?
Well, Drew's coming in today, so
good.
So we can let him do most of the talking.
Look, obviously the story here is what happened yesterday. The Ravens make a trade. Exactly what we all saw coming.
I thought you wanted me to come in with Sinatra again, since you're
Aaron Judge, right?
You're Yankees. And
I still don't know. It's so fun. I got the WBAL last night, and they're like, hey, maybe we because normally I don't do sports until 10 o'clock. That's the rule. I do talk from 7 to 10 and sports 10 to 11. They're like, maybe we do sports a little bit earlier because of the big trade. I said, right.
the Flacco, yeah.
Right, that's the one. And then I said, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know what to say. And I kind of feel like that's where most of us are. Where none of us are all that worked up about the idea of Odafe Oweh being traded away because, look, I mean, Griffin hated him.
Listen,
Griffin would say he's mortal enemy number 1. Like,
I mean,
none
the
of
fact
us
that we got anything back, I feel pretty good about.
None of us are all that worked up about it, but does it actually make the team better? Don't know. And I think Alohi Gilman is a pretty decent football player, but I just don't know. I cannot figure out exactly what this means for the Ravens. We can say all the things that we've been saying. Does it mean Kyle Hamilton is freed up to do more of the stuff that you've wanted Kyle Hamilton to do? Potentially, yes. That's potentially what it means. And obviously, Ardarius Washington getting a bigger role a year ago sort of seemed to coincide with when the Ravens took off defensively. So maybe between he and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they think they've got enough at safety that Kyle Hamilton is now going to be playing a completely different position. That could be beneficial, potentially. You still need someone to rush the passer, and I get it. Odafe Oweh hadn't been doing much in that department. Didn't have a sack yet this season after 10 a year ago. But he did have a 20% win rate on the edge. And the guys that are now going to be tasked with doing that have been much worse than that so far this season. Now, I still have hope that Mike Green becomes the football player that we all thought that he was in the draft. I think Tavius Robinson is a helpful piece. They're going to get Adisa Isaac back, and maybe he can help out a little bit. He had clearly moved ahead of David Ajabo on the depth chart, but and look, a healthy Kyle Van Noy, you would like to think gets more into form as the season goes on, but he's also not getting younger, so I don't know. You have to get an edge rush from somewhere because it's anemic. There's 2 teams in the league that have fewer sacks than the Ravens.
That's almost surprising.
That there's actually 2?
Yeah.
Right? You're like, how are they not last? They have 6. There are 2 teams that have 5. I believe it's the Bears and the Panthers, if I remember correctly.
2 teams you always want to be, grouped together with.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's definitely where you want to be swimming. So that's the complication of how we judge this trade. Is anybody worked up about it in the idea of trading away Odafe Oweh? Not really. Now, there's still a macro-micro there where in the micro, you're acknowledging Odafe Oweh just really hadn't been the player you wanted him to be. But in the macro, it's still a first-round pick that you're kind of acknowledging didn't work out. And that is painful no matter how you slice it. That's not a good thing for you to be acknowledging. The Ravens had picked up his fifth-year option. There had been hope that he really was becoming the guy. Ultimately, in the end, it's just not the case. I mean, just not what it ended up being. So, hey, man, this is what it is. They're going to hope. Former Navy safety, actually, as we're about to chat with Eli Heidenreich, Odafe Gilman can be a difference maker for them, and he's been a very good football player. I'm not down on that part about this at all. I think he's a nice football player. But he's not an edge rusher, and the Ravens don't have that. And it will be interesting to see if they intend, after making this move and clearing some cap space, to try to swim in those waters in the coming weeks leading up to the trade deadline. We'll talk about it more throughout the course of the morning, but I'm very excited to chat with our next guest. Great to have him back on the program after what was an unbelievable day for him in Navy's win over Air Force, where he became the first player in Navy history to ever record 200 receiving yards in one game. And somehow I don't even feel like that describes how great of a day it was for Eli Heidenreich. 8 catches, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. Eli, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you again, man. Thank you for taking the time for us, and congratulations.
All right, thank you for having me.
Hey, man, did you guys know, knowing what you knew about Air Force defense, and we know that you guys have been throwing the ball more in general, but going into the game, did you know it was going to be this type of day, or is that just what came along as the game got started?
So, yeah, watching film kind of leading up to the week, to the game, I should say, we knew that their defense they'd struggled a little bit this year. They played Boise State, Hawaii, I think Utah State as well. And they've been giving up some points, especially in the passing game. They'd had some struggles there. But I did not really at all anticipate having 200-plus receiving yards. It's not really something that I was thinking about going into the game. But, it was kind of funny to see how the game and our game plan evolved throughout that day. So, we started off kind of trying to do a lot of our, basic kind of triple option things. And if you watch the game, they were bringing a lot of pressure and really loading up the box, making it tough for us to get a lot of our runs off. So that really opened up the pass game. And our offensive coordinator really just took full advantage of that.
How much of you, because obviously you had it over 100 yards a year ago against Air Force as well. How much have you kind of enjoyed when you've seen teams try to do that ever since Blake's been the quarterback? Have you kind of snickered oh, you guys don't realize, you don't know this dude can throw the ball too.
Yeah, he balled out in that game. He was facing, a ton of blitzers kind of right in his face, and he had a ton of poise in the pocket, just dropping, almost perfect passes to me in a lot of situations, well-timed balls. But it is funny. I think people still kind of are unassuming with him and his passing capabilities, but he proves them wrong kind of each and every week. It is funny to see.
Eli, I was listening to Coach Newberry the other day in his press conference, and one of the things he was talking about is how you guys, it's maybe the sign of a great team that if this is what's required, is you adapt or you do things on the fly, you're capable of doing that. Where does that come from for this group, that you're not going to panic if things aren't necessarily going the way that you wanted them to go, that you're going to be all right, you're going to be able to handle it and figure out what you need to do in the course of that game?
I think it really starts with our senior leadership, and kind of at the forefront of that is Blake, for sure. He is a guy that, through adversity, we've had some kind of tougher starts to a few of our games this year. I think Air Force didn't exactly go the way we would have hoped in the first quarter, and then I think you could say the same thing about Tulsa, where we turned the ball over, a little early. And Blake will be the first person to tell you that he was kind of the guy that, maybe made a mistake here or there to start off those games that, maybe got us behind a little bit where we would have liked. And, he's just super composed and never someone that lets these little things kind of, you get to him. And he's a guy that really leads by example and sets the tone for our offense. And it's really easy to kind of just get behind him and follow. So I think that's the big thing is, our leadership as a whole as a senior class, and then him kind of being that guy up front.
Eli Heidenreich is with us after his massive day. What does it feel like to be in it? Like, most of us as humans will never be in a zone like that. We're never going to have a day where it's just going, what does it feel like when you're having a moment like that, where like it seems like you can't do anything wrong, and like, can you just describe what that feeling is like?
Yeah, that's something that I try to focus on a lot, is getting in that headspace where you're able to kind of make those plays. And the biggest thing about it is it's almost kind of like effortless, and you're not really thinking a lot about it. I think that's when a lot of people play their best football, and I think that definitely applies to me, and I feel that way. Is you're not really thinking about a whole lot. You're kind of just going out, and it's almost like it kind of just happens. Like I don't really even remember a lot of like during the play, like what I was actually thinking. It's just kind of like you let your body take over, and all the hours that you've put in work in to get up to that moment, it kind of just takes over. And I think that's when you play your best football.
All right, so for folks that didn't see it, probably the most special moment of the day, and CBS captured it. You get over and you jump into the crowd, and what I think a lot of us didn't know in the moment, but we found out later, was you were jumping into the arms of your dad. And like now, after I found that out, I got to be honest with you, Eli, I'm a father. I've got 2 young sons, and it broke me. Like, I got really emotional about it, and we'll let everybody see it that hasn't seen it yet. But can you walk me through this? Like, you knew he was there. Had you premeditated this? How did it come about, and why was it something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, so earlier in the game, we were coming out from that end zone, going the opposite way of that wall you can see there. And I could hear my dad and some of his buddies. They were, yelling my name, kind of just talking. And then it was funny. They were kind of chirping the other team just a little bit, all professional things. But I knew they were in that general
Wait,
vicinity.
it's a rivalry game. They're allowed to do that. Like, come on, man. It's a rivalry.
Exactly, yeah. But they were in that kind of general area. I'd heard them earlier, so I knew kind of where they were, but not exactly. I hadn't actually seen them. And, fast forward, we're coming back down the field, going into that end zone. And obviously I catch that pass and run right in the end zone, and I'm heading right towards them. So as I'm running up, I kind of see like a few of them, and I knew kind of what they were wearing. So I jumped right up, and he was right there. I was like, oh my gosh, like it was a really special moment.
Wow.
He was smacking me on my helmet, and it was really cool.
Wait,
so
you didn't know that you were jumping directly to him. You just knew he was kind of in the area.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow, dude. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Really special.
You and I have talked before about your relationship with Alex and coming together, but like, tell me about that. Like, I think a lot of people are familiar with the sacrifices that military parents make, and obviously it's not quite the same as the sacrifices that you make, but what has it meant, like, that support, him, his buddies that are all there for you, And can you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with him and how important he's been for you in getting to this point?
Absolutely. So him and I, we first met each other. I think it was first grade, and it was through football. And at the time, the way it worked back in Mount Lebanon, and that's where we both grew up, was we kind of ended up just playing against each other to start off for the first few years. And Mount Lebanon, like youth football, you'd kind of just play each other. And since we were two of the better kids in the league, we would never end up being on the same team. So our relationship kind of started playing against each other. And I always knew when I'd be playing his team, because I always knew that was the guy I'd have to watch out for and, maybe go tackle. So that's how it started initially. And then obviously as time went on, we get into high school. That's when our relationship really started to take off, I'd say freshman year. And we started playing football together and spending a lot of time with each other. And it was funny. I never would have thought that we'd both end up, playing football together, especially at the Naval Academy. It's just it was really crazy how it all worked out in high school. And then moving forward to where we are now, it really is. It's awesome having him with me, and especially at the start of my career here at the academy, it's not an easy adjustment. And you're switching over from being a civilian to being in the military, but just having him kind of by my side and someone that I can lean on and someone that's there for me all the time. It was really nice having him there with me.
So cool, man. And then tell me a little bit more about your dad, right? And tell me about that. What he's meant to you. And your family and how they've supported you and getting to have a moment like that on Saturday.
Absolutely. Yeah. So both my mom and my dad have played a huge role in my life. I'm very, grateful that they've been with me the whole way. And my dad especially, I'd say, has had a big impact on me, my football career, and where I'm at. And he's someone that recognized that I had some talent when I was younger, and someone that would always push me in the correct way. And I think he really has a big reason as to where I am today. I growing up, I think it was around freshman year. I was a little bit smaller than everyone. I grew a little bit late in high school, but he knew that I still had some talent in me, and he told me this quote that's stuck with me, and it's something that I still have written down, and it's my lock screen on my phone, and it's don't let potential be written on your tombstone. It's just something that has always pushed me, and it's my kind of little motivating piece that I'll look back to when I'm maybe feeling a bit uninspired. But he's definitely had a huge role in who I am as a football player, and then just as a man.
That's so cool, man. I don't let potential be written on your tombstone. That's what the quote was, right?
Yes, sir.
That is great. I love that, man. That's awesome. Eli, I know you guys are moving on. You got another game to play, but I just wanted to get one more in because I got the sense in hearing from you guys on Saturday that you guys had never won an academy game at home, right? Like, it's just the way that it worked out because you only get to play Air Force, and the last time 2 years ago it just didn't go your way. What that meant to you all, that scene, I know there were a lot of military leaders there on Saturday. Can you put into words? You've experienced so many things, and I know beating Army a year ago probably is still at the top of that list, but what it meant to do that at home with everybody there, that atmosphere on Saturday.
Yeah, that game was electric. I think that's a good way to sum it up. I think we had 37,000 people is the number, something around there. It was pretty much a sold out crowd, and obviously there were a lot of generals, and the Secretary of War was there, some high ranking officials that just kind of all added to like the pageantry and made that game even more special. But I think the coolest thing about it all is being able to get a win for all the midshipmen, all the people that are forced to be at the game. I think a lot of them like going, but it's funny that I think that the game almost means as much to them as it does to us. Kind of
wow.
How much goes into it for them, and they really care, and it's really a special thing to be able to go out and kind of win one and deliver that to them.
I had never thought about it that way, but I think you're very much right. For a lot of people, like you're making a lot of sacrifices. There's times where it's not a lot of fun to be doing what you're doing, but you get that moment to go out and celebrate with everybody on a Saturday and enjoy it, and I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. Eli, obviously, you guys are on the road this Saturday at Temple, a much improved Temple team. I know you guys have talked about, hey, we know we need to get better, right? Like, it's good to be 5-0, and if you're going to get better, it's great to do it when you are 5-0. But how do you keep that focus and make sure that you're even better moving forward to keep those goals of winning the league and maybe having a shot at the playoff?
Yeah, our head coach, Coach Newberry, he has a great quote, something that he talks about with us a lot, and it's just going 1-0. And that's a special win that we just took part in last week, and it's hard to flush it, but you have to. Maybe celebrate a little bit on Saturday and Sunday, but once Monday rolls around, you have a completely new week with new challenges that this Temple team will present to us, and it's just important to not get too high with those wins, and then if something happens later down the line, not getting too low. It's just kind of maintaining that kind of steady state that's really important for us as a program. So definitely excited for another opportunity this week to go out and show the country what Navy football is capable of.
It's been awesome, man, and seriously, what a day that was on Saturday, and how much joy it gave so many people. Reminder that you can follow Eli on Twitter. It's at Heidenreich44, correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you on Instagram as well, Eli?
I am. It's the same thing.
At Heidenreich44. Give him a follow there too. Eli, may there be, if necessary, may there be many more. Maybe there's a 300-yard receiving day in the future.
That'd be awesome.
Whatever it takes in order to win games, man. What a cool thing that was. Congratulations on an awesome performance. Great start, and may it continue all season long. Always appreciate you taking the time for us. Thanks for hopping on this morning, man.
Thanks for having me.
That's Eli Heidenreich, Navy snipe, and yeah, what a freaking day, man. Navy's not throwing for 300-plus yards in every game, but my God, that was what was required to beat Air Force on Saturday, and they looked outstanding doing it.
Heck of a shootout. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, not your traditional Academy game whatsoever. A very different look to Academy football on Saturday, and an incredible performance from Eli Heidenreich and Blake Horvath. And yeah, I think I got a lot of Navy. Our buddy Brian Powell, of course, is a massive Navy fan. We got a lot of Navy fans in our lives, and there's still things that you think that they need to be a little bit better and they need to clean up. And we've all talked about how daunting the schedule gets as you get towards November. They're not there. They're thinking about Temple. That's what they're concerned about. They still need to clean some things up, but I do think the ability to adapt, and when the game called for you to do something else, the ability to go do that, I think shows a lot about why many of us think this is a very special Navy team. So awesome stuff, and appreciate Eli Heidenreich taking the time for us this morning. All right, today's show is brought to you by Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Frederick, and Columbia. Me personally, I was feeling sluggish. I was feeling run down. I thought there was a chance that I was low T. I didn't really know what low T meant. I didn't really know what to do about it. But I got hooked up with Game Day Men's Health, and I went in for a free testosterone test, and I found out that's not my issue. But I said, right, but I still feel weird. I still don't know how to explain it. I'm sore constantly. I wake up in the morning and it's a production. I'm making noises. And I don't know what to do about it. They said, that happens. We want to introduce you to peptide proteins. And I said, all right, I'd be willing to try it. And admittedly, there was a part of me that thought it might be hooey. I thought there was a chance that it was just kind of nonsense. But within 2 weeks of starting on peptide treatment, I started noticing I didn't feel like that when I woke up in the morning. I felt good. I felt like I was ready. I would play tennis for a couple hours on a Sunday night, and normally my Mondays were shot. I was too sore to walk. And then I started waking up on Mondays like, I don't know, I feel okay. It has been a game changer for me. Like, that's legit. It's been real, the difference that I have felt. And you might be low T. And that would be a completely different type of treatment. Perhaps as a man of a certain age, you're dealing with other issues. Maybe performance issues in the bedroom, stubborn belly fat that no matter what you feel like you're doing right, it just won't come off because your metabolism is quite different at this age than it was in your younger years. I would just tell you, give them a call. Make an appointment. Find out. It is a safe space for men that are dealing with things that you don't want to talk about with your buddies at the bar on a Friday night. Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. Columbia, 443-266-3505. Or Frederick, 240-931-3717. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website to find out more. Allegedly, it's good to see him. What time is Dan joining us, by the way?
11:30. Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
What a morning.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Huh.
Did you watch sports? You watch sports?
He did. He was happy.
Would you bet on
the
Yankees? Would you bet on the Yankees?
I just want to play it. I just want to, and we're not going to get in trouble because technically I'm doing it, and you guys,
What are you
guys
playing?
aren't.
Yeah, but
Are you playing?
but
Wait, you're not playing the David Ortiz clip from last night, are you?
Which one?
Hey, you haven't seen? Have you?
I watched the whole thing.
Are you familiar?
we can play that.
You can pull it up.
Yeah, let's play that real quick.
God.
But I watched the whole thing. It's must-watch TV.
Is it?
It really is.
Not as good as inside the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
I mean,
close.
The thing is, I hate all three of those guys.
It's
so
but it's always felt very
don't know, man.
contrived to me. It's always felt like they were not like it's felt very forced. But yeah, this was from Fox Sports 1. Get out of here with that. Would you stop it?
Is there anything better than when the game ends and they just the out is recorded and they just start playing it and the fans are all cheering?
It's not this quite as good of a scene as it is.
I love LA.
Go Cubs,
no,
go.
Cubs Go is the one because
this is
everybody.
Well,
just because of the nature of the song, it's
Jazz
more
Chisholm
up-tempo.
knows all the words.
Good for Jazz Chisholm. Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Orioles Magic in 2014 was something.
Yeah, it was fun then.
I love LA when Freddie Freeman hit the grand slam last year. If you weren't crying, you don't have a
I
heart.
definitely wasn't crying. I'm not a Dodgers fan.
Well, you don't have a heart.
But there's nothing in Chicago. They all sing. They're all singing.
Everybody
along
sang
to
last night in
every
New York.
word.
All the people in New
It's
York.
not quite the same.
It is to me.
Like it's not quite the same.
Well, I like the hometown
because
beats.
you won. How
The
much?
East Coast-
How much did you win last night?
300.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This was from Fox.
All right.
So
let me
this was from
I
Evers one
watched the whole
last night.
thing. I mean,
This is the weirdest. Like everything they do on this show feels contrived to me. It's not something I enjoy watching.
okay.
But this one,
Well, none of the three of these guys are really any.
they
good.
don't really seem to have any personality at all.
They're
It
not
all
really.
seems
well,
very.
be careful what you
Ortiz,
say about Jeter.
yeah, Ortiz has some personality, but the other two, everything feels like it's been run through 6 PR firms
Right,
before
A-Rod's terrible.
you ever
for
start
like
talking.
for the LCSs though, I think Pedro will do like they'll do like an all
Okay.
cast or something. But I like Pedro Martinez a lot. As
He
like
does
an analyst.
TBS as well.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not bad. This show, it just none of it feels real. But this felt real, not really funny. Just I don't know if this was attempt at making a joke or literally he's just struggling in the I have no idea what
Right,
this is,
hit it.
but it's awkward as hell from FS1. Oh, great! Way to line it up. Way to line it up. There we go.
Nice job,
Big,
Well,
yeah, the big.
good
sell.
job, Glenn.
Yeah, it's my fault. That's probably what happened
Good job,
there.
Glenn.
Yeah, there we go. We'll try it one more time. Why not?
Every single one of you pronounce his last name. You kept first.
Schlittler. Oh, well, he's the master. Schlittler.
Schlittler.
You now your turn.
Sound like Hitler.
All right, let's go to a break, guys.
I'm going Cam.
You know what, Poppy?
Look, I've
get in
made
trouble.
the joke
you just
about
call him
how
Cam.
difficult
Cam,
it is to
that's-
pronounce Cam Schlittler's name on broadcast. Like, as I've said, I was really hoping they'd be eliminated so I didn't have to worry about doing that on terrestrial radio, but not because that's where I was going to be going with it. I don't know what that was. Was that an attempt at making a joke?
I don't know if he knows who Hitler was.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I mean,
just
I-
happened
actually,
there.
I shouldn't say that. He knows that Hitler was a
Right, a figure. Or,
I don't even want to say polarizing. That's
right.
the wrong word.
Or
He knows. That,
I think what you're trying to say is you don't know why you don't make that joke.
Right.
Right.
He doesn't
like,
know.
He doesn't really know the depths of why
I don't
that's
even know that
not
was really
funny.
a joke. But
that's what I said. I can't
but you
tell.
don't even mention.
Right.
Hitler's name in our world is you don't even mention it. Like you certainly never mention it in any way, shape, or form to I can't even say this, right? You would never say it in any way, shape, or form to even remotely brush against complimenting someone or saying, I tell you what, you just don't say it. So he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I think that's the answer.
Yeah,
I think so.
He knows the guy is a historical figure, but he doesn't know that you don't say that and then laugh.
Right, correct. That there's nothing funny
and
about
those other
what you
two
just did.
Laughed because
I think it was
they know
awkward.
he doesn't know.
I also think it was awkward, nervous laughter.
Right, sure.
Like
Jeter was going to give him a basket and a ball.
That's what he does. That's you're just jealous you never got one. Like, be honest.
Well, no, I saw him in a towel once, remember?
That's right. I do
eating an apple.
Your life
the
changed.
PR guy for the Yankees is like, sir, you got to go now. I'm like, got a credential right here, dog. He's like, yeah, but you've been here for 40 minutes.
I told you about the time I got escorted out by Yankees security, right?
Okay.
Have I told you about that story?
I think you did.
Glenn Eunice, of all people, hired me. This is such a bizarre.
Yeah, those words never collided in the same sentence.
Glenn Eunice has a media company,
like
a kind of PR video company,
he did some
production.
Stuff for Ed Reed
and Glenn got a gig with MLB where they were going to go make these promotional videos for all of the players that were involved in the last vote for the All-Star game.
Okay.
And so he had to call somebody in all of these towns, hey, I need you to just go over with a cameraman, and you're going to ask him some generic questions. We're making kind of hype videos. And so he called me and said, the Yankees are going to be in Baltimore. I need you to go over and do this with Giancarlo Stanton. And I said,
it's Giancarlo, but fair enough.
Fine, whatever, who cares? I said,
well, you sounded like three names.
Enough.
It's Mike Stanton. It's Mike
Stanton.
It
Exactly
used to
right.
be Mike Stanton.
So I said, fine, no problem. So I go over to do it. And what Glenn didn't know is that Giancarlo Stanton had no interest whatsoever in participating in this. The Yankees, because it came from MLB, were like, all right, fine, he's going to be available. He'll be in the dugout.
Right.
It was a weird scenario.
And he seems like an a-hole.
In my experience would back that.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like an a-hole.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
well,
it was
when
just,
he was drunk.
It was
the
also
other night,
bad.
No,
it was a weird scenario. They had played a Sunday night game, and then for some reason it was a double header.
Oh, yeah,
it was a double header in Baltimore on Monday. So the first game was at like 3:00.
Right.
And so I'm there at 1:00. He has no interest, none. Yeah. And I've got like a list of questions. Then there couldn't be easier questions. Like, who is your favorite Yankee growing up? And every time I asked a question,
he rolled his eyes.
He rolled his eyes and then like looked at the PR guy and said, "What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?" And the guy would be like, "Say Dave Winfield." I love Dave Winfield. Like that's how it was going. Right. And we were told we had 45 minutes with Giancarlo Stanton to do this because Major League Baseball was taking this seriously.
You had 2 minutes.
After about 3 minutes, he said, I got to run back to the clubhouse. I'll be right back. We're doing it in the dugout.
I got to run.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. I didn't go.
And so, of course, and I knew, and I said to the cameraman, I said, well, that's as much as we're getting.
That's done.
Like, that's the end of that. But the PR guy's just like, look, give me a minute. We'll get him back. And I'm standing there and standing there. And it's getting closer and closer to the start of the game. And now I'm just standing there awkwardly while, like, the Yankees play. Like, all of them are trying to get ready for a bit.
Looking at you.
The game starts at 3:00. It's 2:50. And I'm like, the PR person's like, hang on, I'll get you a little bit more. We'll make sure. Like, I didn't want to waste your time today. Like, we're going to get you more. And I'm just standing there like, dude, I am not an idiot. Like, I know what's going on here right now.
Right.
And finally, the security, thank you. The Yankee security, who looks like a Big Dom, the Eagles guy, comes over and is like,
"You gotta go.
It's time." And I said, "Okay, no problem." Now this camera person who doesn't know anything about sports is like, "Well, and he needs to get paid." He's like, "I haven't gotten anything I need to get. Like, we're working for you." And I'm just sort of snickering. And this guy said, "You sure are."
Yeah.
And you're out.
You gotta go. Right.
And I said, "No problem. Appreciate the time." And the camera person's still like, "Look, I just need to get a little bit more." And the guy, like, was ready.
Well, those are always awkward when you're there. I know I told you my Stuart Sink story. Went to the what event was it that was being played at Congressional? Oh, it was the U.S. Open.
Yeah, correct.
2011 U.S. Open. And
he said he was going to come right back.
No. He's still right there. I waited the whole. I literally waited 2 hours in the white gondola chairs above the putting green. He would putt 30 balls, look at his watch, fiddle around, putt 30 more. Then he wanted to chip. Then he wanted to chip some more, and finally, I saw him go to his bag, put his putter in, and I'm like, oh, this is great, finally. And I go down there, and I'm like, hey, Stuart, how are you? Good. Hey, I do a radio show in Baltimore, 6 to 10 tomorrow. Just wondering, any way I could get you at some point during that time tomorrow, talk about the U.S. Open? Tomorrow. And he's standing right next to me.
Yep.
Tomorrow, Tuesday. Hey, Billy, what do we got tomorrow? 8:54. 8:54, so I got to be here. So, nah, I can't do it tomorrow. I said, well, that's fine. What about Wednesday? What do we got Wednesday, Billy? 8:22. 8:22. So, nah, I can't really do it then either because I got the kids and, my wife's here and I take care of the kids in the morning. She takes care of them in the afternoon. I said, well, look, I could tape it. Mm-hmm. Like, what time are you finished tomorrow? Well, I mean, what time we finished? We're taking off 8:50. Who we with? And he yells, Kevin Sutherland and someone else, and he's like, yeah, those guys take forever. I don't know. Probably like 1:30. I said, well, I can be in the studio at 2.
Right, yeah.
And I'll call you,
yeah.
And then we'll just do 10 or 15 minutes and record it, and then I'll air it on Wednesday. No one will even know it's taped. No one's listening, period. And he's like, yeah, I just don't feel like doing it. and I was so stunned by that that I just said, okay.
All right, man.
And I turned and walked away.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, was it Drew, right?
Yeah.
And I turn around and he goes, nothing personal. I said, Stuart.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
All good, baby.
I'm
all good.
I'm still gonna do my show.
Yeah, we'll get by somehow.
He said to me, I just don't feel like doing it.
Just don't feel like it. I know,
which is better than what Stanton did to you.
That's true. He didn't even bother.
And that whole thing that I just went through, it took about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That whole episode was him hemming and hawing,
instead of
looking up at the sky.
Yeah, right.
Billy, what do we got going on? And finally, he just told the truth.
Yep, just said, I ain't doing it.
I don't feel like doing it.
Just not doing it. Just not happening.
And that was it.
I know someone who never did that to you. I know someone who never said he didn't feel like coming on the show. In fact, he once drove overnight.
You don't have him.
Be on the show.
We don't have him today, do we?
You're looking right at him right now. You're
I'm
looking right at him.
Oh, I'm going to cry.
Joining us this morning.
I got tears in my eyes.
Went out of my way to make sure.
I tell you what, let me say this right now. The Ravens wouldn't be 1-4 if he was on the team.
I know that's true.
I can tell you that.
That's true.
He wouldn't stand for it.
Former Ravens tight end.
I got a tear in my eye.
Host of the We Bleed Purple podcast. And yes, we purposely went out of our way to have him join us on
the only
Wednesday.
guy that ought to wear 83 ever in this franchise.
The great Dan Wilcox is back with us this morning. Buddy, what's going on? How are you? Oh, Dan, are you on mute? I need you to unmute.
Nah, it was my mic. I had my mic turned off. Glenn, Drew, how you
There's
guys
my
doing,
man?
man?
Right
Good
there.
to see you guys.
Man,
I want to give you a hug. Let me give you a hug real quick.
hey, virtual hug, Drew.
How you
virtual
doing?
hug,
Dan,
bro.
do you know
How you doing, buddy?
that Drew every year, because it was his birthday.
Yeah.
Drew every year on his website writes about that day that you drove overnight from Atlanta to Miami to come host the show with us. That's how much it meant to him that you did that. That every year on his birthday, he writes about that as being the best birthday gift he ever received.
I appreciate that, Drew. I tell you what,
and
man,
your wife smelled good that day too. Remember?
She did. She does. She always smells great.
I said to you, damn, Wilcox, no wonder you married her. Smell that perfume.
Hey, Drew, man, I always try to be a man of my word. So if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I always try to uphold that part. I mean, that's one thing I think every man has control over. You know, if you tell somebody you're going to do it, you just try to do exactly what you say you're going to do. So once I told you and I committed that I was going to be there, and, you know, we already had a relationship already, you know, from the city of Baltimore with me playing up there and you being on radio and television and stuff. So it was an easy thing for me, you know, to jump in my truck, man, and get the misses and take a road trip.
Man,
I love it.
It was the happiest I've ever seen. We also tell the story frequently when we're talking about people that big timed us, like, and we are just talking about this with Giancarlo Stanton. We also regularly tell the story. I don't know if you remember from that morning that there was a major sports figure that came over to the table like he was going to sit down and do the show with us, but he was actually only coming over to give Dan Wilcox a hug.
Right.
It was Isaiah Thomas.
Correct.
Legitimately.
I'm like, what's up, T?
Walked
How you
over.
doing, dog? He's
like
I don't
like
talk
he
to you.
was going to do here's Zeke. Like he's going to come over and sit
Right.
down and do the show. We're like, wow, this is Isaiah Thomas. This is a big deal. And it turns out that was not the case at all. All he was doing was coming over to give Dan a hug, and then he walked right past.
Number 83.
I think he might have thought I was Michael Vick or something. He didn't realize it was Wilcox.
All right, how are we getting this team fixed?
Yeah.
We got some problems here.
Yeah, we do, man. It's been a current topic on my podcast, you know, on the We Bleed Purple podcast as well. Me and Matt been talking about this, I feel like, for 3 years. You know, it's like it's just coming to a boil now that we're losing games. You know, once you win games, when you're winning, nobody complains. But as soon as you start losing, now everybody starts to pay attention to the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. But I've been saying for the last 2 years, like when we get to very big games, we get out-coached. And to me, it's a coaching thing, you know, more so than a player thing. Yeah, we got a ton of injuries right now, but it's always next guy up. And to me, what you do as a great coach is when you lose guys, you implement the new guys, and then you figure out the strengths and weaknesses of your team and what you look like moving forward. And then you overcompensate for those weak areas, right? And then you coach the guys up so they go out there and be at their best. And we went out there and we was nowhere near our best playing that game against the Texans. Like that, you lost all your stars. All your starters are hurt, and you go out there with your backups and look like you ain't supposed to be in the NFL at all. You know, it's just, you know, it's crazy to me. Like it just felt like the guys wasn't prepared the way they should have been prepared. We wasn't coached up well enough. There are some things that definitely got to change, you know. And I'm not saying that Harbaugh needs to get out of there or anything like that, but there's something that's broken within that triangle, the OC, DC, and head coach. You know, something has to happen there in order to kind of shake some things up. You know, I remember Billick getting fired, and I think the entire team was like, holy shit. And when Harbaugh first came in, we was all shocked. You know, Billick, I remember he had just got a contract extension, and I remember kind of gloating and bragging to the team like, I ain't going nowhere, you know, like, and then he ended up getting fired, you know, like that following year. So it was like, wow, and if Billy could get fired, then anybody can get fired. Anybody could lose their job. And I remember being a rookie in the league, my rookie year in New York with the Jets. There was a quarterback that fell asleep in meetings, and he was from Penn State. I can't remember his name right now, but he fell asleep in team meetings and training camp, and the next day he was gone. And that was an eye-opening experience for an undrafted free agent out of Appalachian State to see that if you could cut a quarterback from Penn State, I better make sure I'm here every day on time, wide awake in fucking meetings. I don't want to play around. I don't want to miss anything. So, you know, to me, that's what kind of needs to happen. You know, something drastic has to happen. I mean, Oweh being traded is definitely an eye opener for some of the players. You know, he had 10 sacks last year, probably had his best year. This year don't have much of anything and just haven't been playing the way we need our defense to play at all. And it's not Oweh. It was everybody consecutively. When I watch us as a defense, we don't look like a Baltimore Ravens defense. Nobody's flying to the ball. Normally it's 10, 15, you know, it's all 11 guys on the tackle. You know, you see guys sprinting downfield. If a guy break a long run, he's not going to score a touchdown. We're not giving up big runs and stuff like that on our defense normally. So, you know, just watching us play defensively is kind of disheartening. And then knowing exactly how talented we are offensively, because I think since Lamar got there, we have put a ton of money into the offense finally, for real. You know, 2 of the top tight ends in the league, you know, 2 of the top running backs in the league, the number 1 quarterback in the world. You know, you got 2 or 3 top receivers on your team. You know, like we got some studs, you know, a good center, a good tackle, you know, 2 good tackles. You know, the guards are really questionable right now. But at the end of the day, you put a ton of money into the offensive side of the ball. And yeah, we're productive, but we're not as productive as we should be. You know, we score 40 points. We we score 40, but we lose by 1. You know,
yeah, we scored 40, we grew up 50.
Yeah,
right.
We should have really put up 60 that game, or you know, we could have. The offense even though they're scoring a lot of points, they're still not reaching their max potential. And you're definitely not using Derrick Henry the way he should be used to be a real true threat in this league. And you can see the expression on his face with every single interview that he's frustrated, and he shouldn't have to be frustrated with a team like this.
Well, if you're not winning football now, last week we're not going to count, but if you're not winning games and Lamar's your quarterback, something's wrong. I mean, it's that
something's
simple.
wrong.
Something's wrong.
100%.
Dan Wilcox, former Ravens tight end, We Bleed Purple podcast. Dan, I want to follow up on two things that you said there. The first is I think that if this continues, you're going to have the John Harbaugh conversation, right? Like, that's going to have to happen. But, you know, you don't do that in week 6. That's just, you know, you don't wave – because it's never worked, right? Like,
I mean, who cares? Like, is this the organization that follows everybody else's league, or it's the organization that set the standard for everybody else? The standard is a standard, like, you know, like Tomlin said, right? You know, like this defense is unacceptable, like, for a franchise like the Ravens.
So that's why I feel like the conversation has been pointed more towards Zach Orr. Right, Dan? Like, that to me, I just
who hired him?
Hey man, I'm with it, right?
Who hired him? I mean, in the midst of going for a Super Bowl run, who hired Zach Orr?
John Harbaugh did, 100%.
Okay. I think they're not firing John because they don't want to give John $51 million. I don't know that I'm kind of on the fence with it. I know what Glenn's saying, middle of the season. When you can a guy, all you're really asking for then is for the thing to kind of fall apart, and you're going to finish 4-13, which sometimes isn't even a bad thing because now you go get some high draft picks and you start rebuilding. I think more than anything, Steve's not writing John. They gave John 3 more years last year, which also is kind of insane. They owe him $51 million if they fire him. I don't think Steve's in the market to be giving anybody $51 million.
If I keep the focus on Zach Orr, right? Not saying that I even know that it's his fault specifically, right? But, like, to me, Dan, the biggest eye-opening part, and it's why it's ironic they traded away Odafe Oweh, is, like, there's just nothing in the edge rush department. Nothing. Nothing. They have 6 sacks on the season. One of them on Sunday was just the Texans forgot that Kyle Van Noy existed, right? Like, he didn't even win. He just
free off the edge,
standing by himself. Yeah. That's the part where I say, like, I don't know that I'm blaming Zach Orr, saying it's his fault, but I do feel that you are right at the point of you can't pretend like this isn't happening, and you just might not have another choice but to make that move, presumably at the bye week, and giving someone else a chance to see if they can't fix it.
I think what I see from the outside looking in, I'm not on the team anymore. So from the outside looking in, what I see is to me, it's all wrapped around coaching, right? So to me, it starts with Harbaugh, then of course it trickles down to the OC, to the DC. And when I started thinking about how we used to practice and how we played, it was one of the most exciting things to ever watch our defense play when I was there for those 5 seasons. And they practice scripting the ball every single day. They practice knocking the ball out of your hand every single day. They had practice drill where they would teach how to take the ball away from the offensive player. I remember running, down the field and everybody punching at the ball. We was all tagging off, but every time they come up there, they wouldn't just tag off. They would try to knock the ball out your hand, instead of just tagging you or just touching you at your hips. And then on the way back, if somebody's behind you, they come and try to knock it back. As I'm jogging back to the huddle, they'll still try to knock it out of my hand. And, it was frustrating for a while. I remember it being frustrating for a while. Like, bro, stop, bro. The play's over with. I'm running back to the huddle. Like, what are you doing? But then you saw all that stuff transition over to the game, right? Now you get to the game. Now we're the number 1 turnover defense in the league. We get more turnovers than anybody else. Then we returning them for touchdowns. Then we number 1 scoring defense in the league. And then we wasn't scoring points like that on offense. And the defense used to tell us all the time, say, bro, all you got to do is score 21. We're going to win every game. They was never going to let anybody get 21 points. And now we're the worst defense in the league as far as giving up points. So to me, it starts with coaching. It starts with mindset. It starts with attitude. It starts with preparing them to be ready to play. Now, these guys are all phenomenal athletes. Like Eric DeCosta and company has done a phenomenal job in the front office is getting us everything we need. When you look at Oweh, he looks like your prototypical pass rusher that could go get it. He got 10 sacks last year. How, I don't know, but he got them. There was something with the system that allowed him to be able to do that. So you still got a bunch of those same guys back, and everything has absolutely fell apart this year. So either you came back trying to do the exact same thing that you was doing last year, and everybody's already prepared for it, and you're not ready to make changes yet, or something's wrong. Something's just not right. You're not coaching it up the right way, or the guys are in bad situations. I can remember a play earlier in the season, where it was a scramble drill, the Buffalo game, and it was guys out of position. It's like, how do you be out of position? There's nobody in the flats. You're covering the flats, and there's nobody there. Common sense tells you to sink. I'm gonna sink. So if you sink, you underneath that ball that the receiver catches. I think it was Coleman that went down the field that was deep. And we just got a defender just sitting in the flats, and nobody ever came to the flats. He was absolutely defending nothing. So normally you would just sink as a DB or linebacker. You would just sink and get deeper and deeper and deeper. So you stay underneath whatever is behind you, because there was nothing that ever came to the flats. And if anything was to come to the flats, you come up and make a play. So it's like, how do you be out of position on this level? There's something wrong coaching wise that's not getting translated over. And, I think Adelius Thomas used to always say something. He always says something, though, that sticks in the back of my mind. Either you coaching it or you allowing it to happen. So either I'm allowing you to do whatever you're doing, or I'm coaching you what you're doing. So either you coaching it up, teaching you the right way to do it, or you just allowing it to happen. So there's no repercussion for my mistakes or my loafs or my temperament on the field. And you can't do it. Shame on me. If I'm your coach, if I'm allowing that to happen to you, I got to grade you out every single week after the game. If I'm giving you a good grade for lackluster effort, then that's my fault. That's my fault as your coach.
That's why I am where I am. I just think that it might be at the point where you have no choice, but you have to make a move when it comes to the DC. I do also want to bring up, because you brought up Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Two of the
OC issues too. Go ahead,
I
Glenn.
don't disagree with that.
Oh yeah,
just
OC,
go through them all.
But one of the things that stands out most to me, Dan, is obviously the play of the two guards, right? And Lele and Andrew Voorhees. And I get that we always talk about, you don't want to just be moving in offensive linemen. You don't want to be doing it. But both of them have been grading out as two of the worst run blockers at the guard position in the NFL. Yeah. And it definitely appears to be impacting their ability to get Derrick Henry going. Are you at a place, and I know that you would rather do it in a game where Ronnie Stanley's healthy and playing, but you at a place where one, the other, both, like you have to do something else at the guard position, because to your point, I do think it's killing both sides of the ball right now, because your inability to control the game on the ground, I also think, is really hurting how bad and how depleted the defense is.
From what I see, more than anything, Glenn, is just lack of effort. Like when I watch Lele play, it's just lack of effort. It's not that he's not a good athlete. Like, it's not that he's not a good player, but it's like
he's obviously big as hell.
Yeah, he just like he don't know what he's doing. It looked like lack of effort. And then it's like he's frozen. Like almost like I've been there before, where you're not exactly sure what you're doing because it's so complicated, or it's too much for you mentally to grasp, because everything moves so fast. It's split-second decision. You got to know it. You can't think you know it. So they may call a play. They may break the huddle. You got to think about the snap count. You got to think about the play. You got to think about your blocking scheme. You got to think about if the D-line line up here. If I block this way, if he line up here, I block this way. If the linebacker moves, then I got to get him. You got to think about all these things in a split second. It happens so fast, and if it's not like as simple as an outside zone, inside zone, or something like that, where all I got to do is just step right or step left, you got a lot of thinking that has to go along with it. And I think maybe he's just in the wrong scheme or something right now, because he's like I said, he's filleting around. Like, it's like, what is he doing? Like, I don't know, so it's one of those things to me. You have to make changes, and you have to make them now, and you have to show your team that if you're not in this stuff to win it, then you're on your way home ASAP. Like, I'm cutting guys left and right if I got to, in order to make changes. I need them to know that we're for real about winning, and nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. And that's what the NFL have always, that's why they say the NFL stands for not for long, because they will cut you at the drop of a dime. There's never been any loyalty from any NFL team to the players. Now that you have to start doing these guaranteed contracts because people are getting them more and more, there seem to be teams that are kind of a little bit hesitant about getting rid of players because they got to pay that money now. And that's good. That's how it should be. But at the same time, you got to cut your losses. You got to recruit better. You got to do better before you give them the money. You got to make sure they're able to get it. And they used to always do that. They used to be afraid to give players money because they didn't know what they was going to do with the money or how they was going to act after they got the money. So you got to do your homework, man. If you're in the front office, so the Ravens have always did a great job of typecasting, bringing in, guys as far as like roles, like more of like your casting guys to be teammates versus just going out to recruit guys. You're actually looking for guys that are good fits, personality wise, athletically, mentality wise, that would be a Raven. Is this guy a Raven before I go get him?
I think one of the bigger things too is nothing really to do with what's going on here right now, but I'm throwing it out there. It's so much different than it was 20 years ago because of the internet and because of the podcasts and because of these external pressures on players to either be part of it or at the very least sit in the locker room and have somebody go, yeah, you hear what Wilcox said about you? Like there is something about the mentality of the players that has changed a lot since when you played. I don't know. I'm not saying it's just because we used to sit here and talk to you all the time, but like, I don't know. I just feel like back in the 2000s and 2005, 2010, you had a couple radio stations, and we were the only outlet. We, meaning the radio, we were really the only outlet at that time that the fans could absorb
Kinda
information.
lived every day,
And now it's a 24/7 news cycle, and the players are even participating, which is almost bizarre to me.
It's crazy
that the Ravens allow. I'm not singling Marlon Humphrey out.
Yeah,
this,
you are.
But
it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Go ahead.
But,
It's okay.
It's kind of remarkable to me that they would allow him to do this stuff in the season. Like, I just don't get that. Why the club wouldn't say, hey, once the season's over, you guys can do whatever you want. But in the season, you can't be going on the internet, and because now that's effectively become the radio. You can't be going on the internet and talking about the football team. Like it's not good.
Well said, Drew.
It's just not good. Like if I'm a player. And I even know, like, again, I'll put you in this. You're not playing right now, but if you're playing in the game this Sunday, and you could use Mark Andrews in the Buffalo game. If you're playing in the game this Sunday and they throw a ball to you in the end zone and you don't catch it, because stuff happens and you don't catch it, and Marlon Humphrey goes on the air on Monday and says, well, guys got to do their job. Guys got to, when a ball's thrown to them, guys got to catch it. That pisses you off.
Yeah,
and it should. Like you haven't defended every pass successfully.
You're right, 100%.
And I think it's a. I know it. I know the times have changed, and I'm just howling at the clouds. But I just think
you're right.
I just think it's a bad look to have your athletes commenting about the games in their own forum. It's not good. To me, but maybe I'm just an old guy. I don't know.
I agree with you, Drew, 100%, man. Like I remember being a player and trying to think like what's next, and then I started to get into like broadcasting and television and all that type of stuff. And I started to think, like, okay, this is probably what I'm going to do next. But I spent all my time on you guys' show. I didn't go and start my own show. Even though I had a television show with Bruce Cunningham and stuff on Fox 5, I spent my time going to you guys' show and having that show. Allowed me to be able to kind of talk about the game of football week in and week out. And I think Bruce did a great job of not putting me in compromising situations.
Right. And I was just going to say that the times of, again, I keep going back to this theme, like the times have changed. When you came on the air and you did your segment with us, it wasn't the world of hot takes.
Correct.
We weren't trying to piss on you. We weren't trying to we just wanted to have you on the air and talk about football because we liked you. And sometimes we talked about other stuff, music or whatever. And now today, everyone's saying, and again, not just to Humphrey, it could be to anyone who's doing this. But
Humphrey's he's the one that's setting the standard for what we need to do. Like,
everyone is saying to him, "Hey, dude, need a hot take from you. What's your hot take this week?" And that's code word for what are you going to say that's going to get us people listening.
Everybody wants to go viral,
and it's not good.
It's not good. I agree with you 100%.
Especially when you're
Drew.
losing.
Yeah, especially
nothing good
when you're
comes
losing.
from losing.
But I can remember a clip last year when Marlon was getting on the plane, and he was filming Lamar. Lamar was like, "Man, get that shit out of my face." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I don't want to be on camera right now. I'm trying to get ready for a game.
We didn't play all that well today. I didn't think we got to be bad. It was the Dallas game. I remember it well. It was the Dallas game where they nearly blew it in the end.
Yeah, and now we're losing. Every week, Marlon still get on here to try to talk, and I've never seen the fan react the way they reacting to Marlon. Like I've never seen a fan react to a current player on a team that's a premier player the way they reacting to Marlon right now. Like he getting so many negative comments. Like I don't know mentally if I could deal with that.
Well, here's the other thing, I would never belittle anyone for how much money they make or when they make their money. Marlon doesn't need this $1,200 he gets from YouTube. Like, what's he care?
Right.
What the hell does Marlon Humphrey care if this podcast makes $1,000?
Because he's getting ready for life after football. I think he's done.
You don't need
already.
life after football. You got $50 million.
I think he's done, Drew. Like $50 million is only $25 million. You know, so
sorry.
After taxes,
right?
After taxes, nowadays, the way Trump is, man, no telling how this thing.
It might be $2 million, right?
Yeah,
no, but you know what I'm saying. Like
you're
playing football right now. This is your living. Make your living, and you're a smart dude. You could pick up the podcast. Hell, I did it, and I'm a dummy, and I was on the radio. So if you're a smart guy, you can do it.
This is gonna he's gonna go on for 3 more hours, Dan. I can't.
Let's do it. I got 3 hours.
I don't know, man. It's just nothing good ever comes when you're losing.
Dan,
nothing good ever comes.
Drew's
from
also in his 60s now, so he's completely turned the filters off. Like he's
I don't care.
Completely.
I definitely don't
blame him.
I don't
blame
anymore,
him. Like why
sure.
bite your tongue at all, man? Like say what's really on your heart and what's really on your mind. Like. These guys, I agree with Drew wholeheartedly. Like, I feel like you can still build your fan base and even have a YouTube channel, but just not spend all your time there talking about your teammates or whatever it may be, you know. And he could still go on you guys' show and do all the other shows in the city of Baltimore on television and radio and still build a fan base for his YouTube channel without doing what he's doing week in and week out. And I think what he's doing is just trying to prepare himself for when he's done playing ball. He wants to go into podcasting or media or whatever it may be. So, which as a player, we could tell any of the young players, you'll never get more than you'll get while you're a player.
For sure.
As soon as you retire, everybody cuts you off.
Right.
You know, so if you're going to get it and learn it and earn it, now's the time to get it. And I think Marlon has heard that several times. So he's definitely out there trying to get it while he's still playing. I still feel like there's a way to do things, and the way that he's doing it sometimes just comes across so cringy, you know, and I kind of hate it. I really do. I kind of hate it. I hate it for him.
I understand. Dan Wilcox, remind everybody about the We Bleed Purple podcast.
I believe
We
Wilcox.
Bleed Purple
I'm
podcast.
I Bleed Wilcox is my new podcast.
Stop.
Yeah, me and Matt Trigger, we're on the We Bleed Purple podcast, and we do it, you know, once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes 4. But we started our own YouTube channel, and the We Bleed Purple podcast is starting to pick up. We actually got a clip that just kind of went viral a little bit, and Matt just sent it to me before I came on you guys' show, and it was the clip about me talking about Harbaugh and stuff his first year here, and how the team kind of rebelled against him a little bit. And you know, it was a very interesting day and a very interesting moment for all of us as players. You know, I think we ever been in a situation where we felt like we was being mistreated as a team. You know, so we kind of got together and kind of stood up and just kind of wanted to voice our opinion. But I think people need to understand that the NFL is a bunch of grown men coaching grown men. You know, it's not little boys anymore. It's not like college. It's not like high school. You know, you got a bunch of grown-ass men in there being coached by another grown man. And Harbaugh had to come into a situation where we had a bunch of type A personalities on defense and offense. And he had to take over a team that was probably one of the best defenses in the history of football at the time. You know, it was a tough scenario. So, but we talk football, we talk Ravens, talk every single day, man, and we enjoy doing what we do. And we're going to continue to push it and see what happens with the podcast. Maybe we can get Marlon on.
Dan, you're the best, brother. Love you, man. Let's do it again soon. Thank you for doing this as always.
Glenn, Drew, thank you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for always having me on. And I definitely need to get you guys on the We Bleed Purple podcast soon, too, as well.
I'm in. I'll wear my purple.
Brother. Anytime. Love
Say
you, brother.
less.
The great Dan Wilcox with us here on GCR. Appreciate him taking the time. I know.
Rush and Wilcox.
Yeah, right. What a big week for you. What a big week for you. How much are those tickets going to cost you, by the way?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I put in I put in for the pre-sale to go to Madison Square Garden. I think I picked Madison Square Garden, Cleveland, and Toronto, because you could pick 4, I think.
And where are
I know
you
you're
on-
not a Rush fan, right?
Well, no, it's not that I'm not a Rush fan. I'm just not like you, right? Like I like Rush.
I really got emotional this week watching
But I
two
was
of them.
interested in how different it is without Neil, right? Like because so many people would say, well, Neil Peart's one of the greatest drummers of all time. I think everybody agrees with that.
Sure.
That unlike a lot of other bands, with no disrespect to Taylor Hawkins, who I think was
who was going to be their next drummer.
Oh, really? Is that
was the story?
I didn't know that.
They were going to do this, and when did he die? 23.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
They were going to do this right around then, and they were going to tab him. Do you remember when they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Vaguely.
The Foo Fighters did 2112 in all white.
Yeah.
And Taylor Hawkins killed it.
And this might not, because Taylor Hawkins is a high-level drummer, so he might not be the right. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
But I feel like there are some bands where you replace the drummer and a lot of people don't even notice.
Right.
Whereas that's not the case with Rush.
Right. It sort of wasn't the case with Led Zeppelin either, even though
Yeah.
Jason Bonham could have probably later in life, because he's done a few shows with him recently, like he could have stepped in. The drummer probably is the most nondescript, right? Mm-hmm. But yet, for them,
maybe a bassist, right?
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I got emotional this week watching the two of them. They're just two of the coolest. You know, Bruce is very socially awkward. Mm-hmm. As much as I am a Springsteen devotee, he's very socially awkward. And when you watch an interview with him, I feel like he's kind of vapid. You don't get a lot out of him. My dad and I just didn't get along. Like, he just there's not a lot of meat to it. These two guys are really, really interesting, cool, cerebral, funny, self-deprecating. They're just incredible guys, and they have this incredible friendship. They have this friendship that is a brotherhood, that is hard. They're probably deeper than brothers because they don't have.
They spend their life together.
Right.
I get it.
So I don't know, man. I think the pick of her to be the drummer is awesome because it's very, very Rush-like, very, for them to say, we're going to take this girl and she's going to be the drummer, and you know what? She might be as good as freaking Neil Peart.
You know, I did watch some videos of her. She is phenomenal.
It's
There's
insane
no
how
doubt.
good
She's
she is.
Incredible. There's no question
So
about
I
that.
think the fact that they picked her is a really, really cool thing. Like, it shows how fearless they are. I'm not trying to say women can't drum, because she can, but it shows how fearless they are. That if you would have said, who's Rush taking on tour with them, nobody would have guessed her. Mm-hmm. But they're going to take her, and she's going to kill it, and she's going to be great. And I am so excited, just even if I don't get to go, I'm just so excited to see them doing this, what is probably the last time, right? You know, they're, oh, great. Thank you, man.
Thanks, John.
I guess I'm on a diet or
bearing
something.
gifts.
I was really emotional watching the because you knew when he winked, you knew when Alex said, yeah, we've been hanging out here together for a year, and he winked. I was like, oh my gosh, because I didn't know. They had kept that a pretty good secret, because I did watch the whatever you want to call that the other day, not press conference, but you know, I was glued in, and when he winked at the camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe they're touring.
What's happened, right? So,
I
get it.
It's pretty cool.
All right, when we come back in, we're going to do Would You Rather Wednesday. I also want to talk to you about the Jonathan Gannon thing, because that's gotten a lot of attention this week, and I do think it's an interesting conversation to be had. Drew's here. Today's show is also brought to you by the Maryland 5-Star, which is back 8 days away from the start of the Maryland 5-Star. Fair Hill and Cecil County, Triple Crown of Equestrian, and just a celebration of the fall in the state of Maryland. Go to Maryland 5-Star with the number 5.us to get your tickets. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bo Smolko profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how the football legend has proven to be a unicorn at the position with the success that he's found after the age of 30. Also inside, Brandon Schwartzberg looks at Kobe Mayo's push to find rhythm at the big league level. And we mark the start of the college football season by meeting players from all 4 FBS and FCS programs throughout the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Game day hits different with Live Casino's Big Plays, Big Pays hot seats. Head to Sports and Social on select Sundays and Mondays in October. We'll draw 10 hot seat winners every hour. When the home team scores, we'll double the prize pool. Plus, we'll give away $50 Sports and Social gift cards with every touchdown. Watch and win at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR. If you missed Stan, Ross, and Luke talking baseball, they're going to be doing it through the end of the World Series. Stan the Fan Charles, Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson. You can watch it every Monday, Facebook.com/PressBoxSports.
I'm loving these playoffs. I would love it
more
if baseball playoffs.
If the Blue Jays didn't blow a 6-1 lead.
What do they got? Bullpen game tonight? And then who would pitch for them in Game 5? Bieber?
No, he pitched yesterday, didn't he? Didn't Bieber pitch yesterday?
Bieber pitched yesterday.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Bassett, maybe?
I'm thinking 7 games, 5 games, right?
Right.
Bassett. No, Bassett's hurt. Right. Gosman would pitch Game 5.
Did Gosman start Game 1?
Yeah, Gosman would pitch Game 5.
Yeah,
I'd love it a lot more.
Yeah, Gosman.
Yeah.
It would be Gosman and Fried.
Savage was Sunday.
Yeah, it would be Gosman and Fried.
Correct.
And the Yankees would win 2-1.
Enough of that. Stan Shows brought to you by the Costas Inn.
Please don't act like you love that.
And the all-new Costas Inn, now open in Timonium at the Grandstand. So I just wanted hang on. Before we got Jonathan Gannon, I want to bring up something you said before. The way that you described your thoughts about Steve Bisciotti and interest in paying money, you don't think that Steve Bisciotti would fire John Harbaugh at the end of the year either?
Well, first of all, I would say this. We don't really know. We don't know what the terms of John's employment are.
Mm-hmm.
So it is fair to say that. They gave him a 3-year extension at the end of last year.
Right, but is there a buyout?
But is there a buyout? You kind of have to think there is. Also, did he have an extra? Did he already have a year?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a 4-year deal? And if he does, then that's $68 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I could be wrong on this because I don't know how black and white these contracts are with coaches. I don't think Steve Bisciotti would get himself into a predicament where he's on the hook for $68 million. I just don't. I think he's smarter than that, and I think the industry is smarter than that. That said, they gave Deshaun Watson $250 million.
Mm-hmm. That happened.
So I mean,
not the Ravens, but
no,
yes,
but I mean, right. I just don't. He gave Brian $18 million of free money, and I'm sure he had to take 5 hot showers after he did that. Like, I just gave away $18 million to someone who I'm not employing. I can't imagine he would do that with John. That said, ... maybe John is no longer the head coach, but he is now the director of whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just don't think Steve is in the business of giving away $50 million of free money. But maybe it's not $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Right.
it's $25 million.
Right.
And if it's $25 million, maybe Steve says, I hate to do it, but okay, here you go, John. And then maybe John leaves and goes and gets the job with the Steelers or Jets or whoever.
Right.
And maybe Steve gets some of that money back. I don't know. I don't think they're firing John in the season. I just don't see I don't see the real value in doing that with the head coach.
No.
Dismiss whether or not it's John. Because
Right.
people are always, you just love John. John's in the November or the December of his career in Baltimore. I
think
believe.
so as well, yeah.
I believe. Whether or not I like John, which I do. Whether or not I like John or I don't like John. John is in the November or the December of his career in Baltimore, unless something magical happens. Mm-hmm. This is more about what you do as an organization in the season. You know, people yesterday were like, "Oh, here goes the fire sale." It's not a fire sale. They're trying to get better. They're 1-4, and they know if they lose this week, they're in deep. You know what? They're not out of it. Their schedule does soften, but they got a quarterback with a bad hamstring. Yep. They got a lot of players who are nicked up. They know if we don't somehow pull a rabbit out of our hat on Sunday against the Rams, we're in trouble. But they're not giving up. And when you fire the head coach in midseason, you're giving up.
No, I agree with all that.
In my opinion.
I agree with
now,
all that.
If you want to fire Zach Orr,
right,
because you have Dean Pease there to seamlessly walk in tomorrow and put his stuff on Zach's desk or whoever, right? That's a different story. They're only really in control of one aspect of the on-field operation. Firing the coach midstream is moronic to me.
That's where I am.
But I think if this doesn't flip, and they somehow, injuries or not, if they somehow wind up 7-10 or 8-9 or whatever, in that range, I think it's time. That said, I really don't know how interested Steve is anymore. I really don't. I think there's an argument that Steve has checked out. And that's what Steve does, and this is okay, because if you're the owner, it's what every owner of every business does. Mm-hmm. He collects a check and says, man, my investment has doubled. I'm doing great. But this club, I think I could say this fairly, and I can say it I can say it easily without hesitation. This organization and franchise was way, way better when Steve was active. Now, the employees might buck up against that, but I bet you they would also say, because I've had this conversation with Eric before, not recently, but in the past. I've had this conversation with Eric where Eric said, when we went down there to West Palm, and we went down there in January with Steve, and we hadn't won, the first 3 hours weren't pleasant because Steve got it all out. Mm-hmm. How did we lose this game? What did we do here? Why did we sign that guy? That guy sucked. Who signed him? You signed him? You hired the guy that signed that dude? That guy's terrible. Like, Steve would not be happy. And we would, this from when we were on the air, we would go once a year and we would get to ask Steve questions, whether or not they were softballs or whether or not they were hard questions. You got to sit there in the room with the owner and ask him what you wanted. And the fact that he doesn't do that anymore, just one time a year, the fact that Steve doesn't do that anymore tells me a lot about him.
I think you should do it. I think there's no question about that.
And it isn't about accountability.
And look, I said the same thing.
It's about you showing your interest.
Right.
And to me, when I see him walk around on the field before the game and give man hugs to people and stuff. That's not interest. That's entitlement, meaning he's entitled to do that.
Right, I'm the owner of the team.
Because I own the team.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. You can't do it. He can. It's not about that. I just feel like he's checked out. And when he wasn't checked out, the organization ran better, in my opinion. I could be wrong. And the people in the office might tell you the exact opposite. But I can remember going to Owings Mills. You remember we would walk in and his car would be in the
100%.
thing.
Yep.
And the sign would be up, Steve B. And sometimes we'd walk in and it wouldn't be there, and we'd be like, oh, okay, he's not here today. But I can remember walking into the building and he was there.
I get it.
So anyway, I just this is a mess, man. There is no way that this team should be an underachieving organization with the quality of the roster they have. There is something wrong. I am not saying it's John. I'm not saying it's Zach Orr. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that if you do a deep dive into this thing, there is something wrong. When you can't win with this kid at quarterback, something's wrong. And I'm not trying to put it all on him, but he is one of the best quarterbacks,
There's no question
certainly in
about
my
that.
lifetime.
There's no doubt about it.
And look, I'll say this: maybe he's part of it. I don't know. Like, something's wrong. If you have this kind of quality roster-wise and you're not winning, something is wrong.
Let's talk about this. So I think everybody's familiar with what happened. The Cardinals played the Titans on Sunday. They were winning the game going away.
Yeah.
Mari DiMercato. Hang on. Mari DiMercato going towards the end zone.
Moneyline DiMercato.
That's what they're calling him.
That's what I'm calling him.
And he pulls the Deshaun Jackson, or who was it from the Colts? Was it Pierce?
Well, Jonathan Taylor did it. Oh, A.D. Mitchell. Yeah.
A.D. Mitchell.
Jonathan Taylor did it last year.
Yeah, he had done it last year. And then A.D. Mitchell, literally 2 weeks ago, does the same thing. They just drop the ball on the way into the
actually
end zone.
thought he was in, but that's neither here nor there.
You know what's really funny? I did too,
yeah.
honestly.
I think
like when you see that video, you're like, how is he not? But then they slow it down and they kind of show a better goal line angle.
Right. Well, like somebody pointed out there, like maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but I'm glad they called it because.
Well, yeah, that I disagree with.
Just for the lesson of.
No.
He needed 4 more inches.
If it's a touchdown, go ahead.
Well, I don't want to say that because Proctor might be listening.
There we go. Now.
Hey, Proctor!
Good morning. Or good afternoon, whatever time it is at this point.
I got you first today, you dog.
So they cut to the sideline, or they don't cut to the sideline. This was not a broadcast video. This was video that came out later. And
I do have an opinion on this, by the way.
Mari DiMercato is sulking on the sideline, obviously clearly distraught about his mistake and how it hurt the team. Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of the Cardinals, is pretty pissed off about it. And you see at the end of this interaction, he comes over, he's screaming, he's losing his mind. Obviously, DiMercato made a huge mistake. And then as he walks away from this interaction, he takes this motion, and it's sort of like he's punching him. Now, it's not like an uppercut. It's not a clear, but it's sort of a punching motion. And that leads to outrage, and it leads to the Cardinals fining Jonathan Gannon $100,000 and him saying that he apologized to Mari DiMercato and apologized to the team. And then everybody says it's over from there. It's led to a lot of back and forth about, some people. Des Bryant, for example, former Ravens legend Des Bryant.
Oh, yeah. His 2 touchdown catches.
Did he have 2?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He might have 3.
No, he didn't.
I'm locking in 3.
No, he didn't. I don't think
he's definitely
2.
had 1.
I was going to say
he had
1.
2.
I thought it was 1.
Well, you go with 1. I'll go with 2. He'll go with 3. Whoever's right, Chinese lunch.
Well, again, what about the other 6?
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well,
let's go.
You get around to it at some point. We'll find out what the answer is. I'm going to say 1. It's also possible to me that the answer is actually 0.
He had 3 first downs.
Right, but that
counts. That's better.
No.
2 touchdowns.
2.
He called 2 touchdowns.
You better record that, and I want a liner.
Hey, you're down to 5.
I want a liner made up.
You're down.
Drew knew more about football than you two.
I'm giving you
Drew
this.
knew more about Des
You
Bryant.
hear that,
You're
Colson?
Raven.
Who the expert is in here?
Yeah, it's not going to be peppermint patties next time.
How many receptions did he have as a Raven?
9.
I was going to say 8.
He had 6.
Closest to the pin,
Anyway,
baby.
what did he say?
Des Bryant says, I don't agree with the Cardinals fining Coach Gannon $100,000. I believe it only happened because of the soft-ass world we live in today. If you're an athlete with any kind of integrity and respect for the game, you'll understand that situation. This is football. That play clearly cost them the game. I hope this doesn't cause a weird vibe between Coach Gannon and DeMercado.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
You ready for me to go into this? There are several tentacles to this, right? Number one is, what's that kid's career win-loss record?
I have no idea.
Gannon?
The running back.
Oh, the running back.
It's his career win-loss record.
Right.
He doesn't have
The
one.
only reason he's playing is because 2 guys
But he doesn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
What's this coach's record?
I don't know.
Not good.
But he has one.
Mm-hmm.
So when you lose a football game as a coach, you've lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's on you. It's on your record. It's never going away. Oh, you lost that game against the Titans. No, actually, I didn't. I had an ass clown who dropped the ball on the goal line. Well, you lost. So right away, the first tentacle of it is it's the coaches look at these results and the impending result, because no one knew at that point what was going to happen, but you kind of knew. It's like dropping a foul ball, right? The next dude's hitting a grand home run,
Always,
right?
always,
Right.
eternally.
So I'm not going to excuse what happened. I am going to try to sort of paint the picture of why it wasn't as big of a deal as people have made it out to. It was certainly an emotional reaction. I didn't see, until you just showed it, I didn't really see it clearly defined that he made some sort of punching motion at him. But he did, for sure.
Yep, 100%.
Now, that also could have been, come on, man, get your shit together. And he hits him in the...
And this is why I'm uncomfortable with people saying he punched him. We all have been around buddies. We have all made physical contact that looks like that. We know the difference between clocking someone and what happened there.
And attempting to injure. What he was trying to do in that moment, to me, was to wake him up. That would be the way I would clarify or classify it. I'm waking you up by punching you in the shoulder or punching you in the arm and saying, "Come on, man," and that's what I'm doing. Now, that said, it might not be good for the coach and the player to be having. I see Kelsey and Andy Reid sometimes going at it, and I always think like Kelsey's always one step away from slugging him. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's the kind of relationship they have. But they look like they're fiercely annoyed with one another to the point where someone might do that. What I definitely disagree with is the Cardinals publicizing it. And I don't think that bodes well for him. In the locker room, with his team, I think the Cardinals publicizing that they fined him $100,000 is a terrible look for him. I don't think it helps him at all. And I think it shows that when all the dust settled on this, the team sided with him, with the player. Now, if they want to fine him, that's one thing. If they want to say to him, "Come on in, have a seat," dude, you can't do that. And we're going to fine you, and you're going to donate $100,000 to the, Easter Seal Society or whatever. Okay, no problem. But to publicly embarrass him like that is not.
I don't know how much of an option that is at this point. I know what you're saying.
Then maybe I'm wrong.
I know what you're saying. I feel like there is going to be the outrage machine is going to say you didn't do anything.
And you know what I'm going to say about this money.
You just said it was okay.
You know what I'm going to say about the money.
Well, what if they just said we find him an undisclosed amount?
But you know what I'm going to say about but saying you're going to find him an undisclosed amount, the amount's disclosed to him. I said this that time about Kobe. I got a lot of heat for it when Kobe threw the other F word at the dude, and they fined Kobe $1 million or $500,000 or whatever it was. It was insane. Like people talk about this money like it's you and I talking about going to Chick-fil-A.
You kind of just did that when you were talking about Marlon Humphrey. Just to be fair, you kind of just did that. You just kind of did that.
No.
And said, well, what does he need money for? What does he need? He's got all the money he wants.
No. I'm saying the opposite.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when you're fining these guys $100,000 or $500,000, and that is an absurd amount of money. That's an incredible amount of money that you're taking away from someone now, albeit delivering it to a charity in his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do this in this day and age. Maybe we do it in sports because of how much money they make. Oh, yeah, just fine him $100,000. Well,
Right.
what the hell?
Right.
Yeah, just fine him $500,000. He's got it. That's kind of not the point. I just don't see that as a one.
Well,
I guess I would say this.
You're not,
I don't see that as a $100,000
You're not going to
mistake.
believe who agrees with you. There's going to be a first. John in Little Rock
Well,
literally
what's he
just,
what'd he say?
said the sentence.
What'd he say?
I don't think that's a $100,000 type of fine.
John and I, John's a good man, actually. No, he is. I'm serious. I have always liked John from the very first day Jason introduced me.
Yeah.
I always said John's a good man.
Yeah. Not what you said literally the last time I brought him up.
Really?
Yeah. No, you said you always.
Well, I was
him.
drinking that morning. John's a good man.
No, you said you always liked him.
Oh yeah, when he sleeps. That
right,
was
yeah.
Proctor I was talking about. No, that's not a $100,000 mistake. $100,000. I mean, come on. Kobe calling that referee that is not a $500,000 mistake. I definitely, because I don't have any money, I get offended when they throw these amounts of money around for these things that's eyewash. He didn't do anything.
I don't know that I can say it was eyewash.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like I don't know that I can say that.
And I don't think the play.
I do wonder how other players reacted to it. And I'm guessing it's split because, by the way, the opinion held by Des Bryant is not the opinion held by a number of other players who have chimed in about this topic on social media.
Well, I was just going to agree with Des, so I should shut up.
For example, Torrey Smith says, hell nah. He retweeted Des Bryant, said, hell nah, bro. He's lucky he didn't get dropped. Yell and curse all you want, but keep your hands to yourself. And that's a common theme that we're seeing from players. You want to yell at me, you want to be in my face, you want to do all of that, but do not touch me. It does not work that way. We're not doing that anymore. And it's a fine line. I don't know enough about the relationship between Jonathan Gannon and Mari Mercado because, to your point, like with some of my buddies, I can do that, right? Like, but I wouldn't do that to, for example, Griffin.
But there is something, and Izzo got
not because he's not a buddy. I like Griffin,
No.
but like as somebody who works for me,
I get it.
I would not do that to Griffin.
But Izzo got into it a couple years ago with that kid, right? Remember when he grabbed that kid? Like, there is. Look, I don't know. Maybe this is possible. I don't disagree that Des Bryant might be right, that we are soft. But I also think that Torrey Smith's right, too. When you say, but dude, you can admonish me, criticize me, yell at me, bark at me, cuss at me, call me or whatever you want to call me, but don't touch me. And I know in reality he touched him. I do get that.
Yep.
But I don't think he touched him in a way that he meant it to be confrontational. I think he touched him in a way to make it be to create some energy in him. Come on, man. I don't think he punched him to be confrontational.
I don't even
And maybe you don't split hairs like that.
I don't even disagree with you. I do think that this is more this is a $1 billion industry that we're talking. The Arizona Cardinals might be the worst franchise in the history of the NFL, and yet they're a $1 billion industry.
Sure.
And now within HR,
fair enough. No,
dude, I do HR stuff with Griffin the other day, right, for something unrelated. Like you have to do that. You don't have a choice, and we are not a $1 billion industry at Press Box.
Well, you're
believe
close.
it or not. Yeah, we're working.
Well, you're
that way.
close.
But like this is just the way you have to do.
I get that.
HR type of stuff.
I guess my biggest thing in the whole thing, honestly, my biggest thing is, and maybe you're right, and there's nothing to do about it. My biggest thing is I don't think it was right to publicly disclose how much they fined him, and to basically say, nah, you can't do that, and the player won.
I understand.
I don't think it's a good look for him as the head coach.
I understand
to be usurped like that. That's just my opinion.
I just don't.
I don't think it's 100,000. Right. The Players Association might say,
no, you have to. You have to make it very clear, right?
Right.
Like I don't know all those details, but to your point, I think there is something to be said for a best case scenario would be if you could fine him, but That's nobody has to know about it.
We've
It's
taken
handled
disciplinary action against our head coach for what we deem to be excessive treatment of one of our employees on Sunday. End of the story. We're not going to answer any more questions about it, and it would be done. I just think this creates a small power chasm that might not be good for the head coach.
I hear you.
That's my opinion.
Would You Rather Wednesday is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, the best place to watch every game day. Every big fight night is Inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland.
What did Tomlin get fined when he tripped Jacoby Jones or tried to?
That's a great question. I don't remember.
What did he get fined? Do you remember?
Mike Tomlin, Jacoby Jones.
How much?
Fine.
100,000.
It was 100,000. How do you remember that? That was 12 years ago.
I'm just good at it.
No, not you. Him.
Oh, Colson.
Yeah. Right. It was exactly $100,000. That was the
so
number.
that.
But now, inflation being what that was also 12 years ago.
Okay.
It might very well be that the NFL would say at this point that's a $250,000 fine.
That's a $2 million fine.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. To me, if you want to find someone,
you're saying by scale that you think that that's a far because it was actually the impact in a competitive circumstance.
Of course,
Yeah.
if he makes, and no matter what Tomlin says until he's dying days, we all know what you were doing.
Yeah, 100%.
We all know what you were doing.
100%.
And if he makes contact with him and disrupts him, I think that we even went on the air that day and we tried to. I would almost say it was a fireable offense.
100%.
You interfered with the outcome of a game.
Yes.
And if not fireable, at least without question, maybe not fireable. Maybe that's too strong.
Although
But
Joe Flacco wanted to do the same thing in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
To be fair.
It was suspendable. It was suspendable for sure. If he makes contact with him.
I remember we made a video we were trying to do. If there was any scientific way it could be anything other than a purposeful trip. We were like, is there any way that you could clumsily, No.
You just lazily walk
I'll
out.
never forget Joe standing there saying to Marshall Yonda,
just run out there.
What if I run out there? I mean, I might run out there. Like, the ball's in the air, and he's like, well, if I run out there and tackle him, what are they going to do?
And that was exact. Dennis Pitt is like, I don't think you can do that. He's like, what are they going to do?
Joe wanted to win so bad he couldn't see straight.
Oh, my God. All right. By the way, how am I as an HR director, Griffin? Grade me as an HR director.
I don't know, B.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
Start wearing underwear.
Yeah. Wait, what? Me or
him?
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that what I thought you said that's what you got for.
Well, that was one of the things, but yeah.
Yeah, we had a lengthy list. A lengthy list of things we had to go over.
I thought T. Higgins was going to do the right thing.
T. Higgins?
Yeah.
What is
Joe Flacco's were number 16 with the Bengals.
Oh, you wanted him to give up number 5.
I mean,
got it.
How many teams
you're
does
talking
Joe
about a
play
legend
for
of the game.
Joe played for 7 teams?
Broncos, Eagles, Jets, Browns, Colts, Bengals, Ravens. Yes, 7 teams. 7 teams.
I will say that. I'm just saying this.
He's still, I think, only half the way to Josh Johnson.
I'm not trying to, pick on him when I say this. I never envisioned him as a guy. I never envisioned him as this guy.
Nope. You and I are the exact opposite on this.
You thought he was just going to be a hanger-on his whole life? I did not.
Maybe I didn't feel that way.
He's thriving.
Maybe I didn't feel that way, when in 2010. But the more I got to know Joe, and the more
he's just doing this to stay away from home.
It's like he'll joke about that. Actually, he's okay with that.
But it might be true. But it might be true.
It's more. I don't think Joe has any desire in doing anything else.
Okay, well, it's like what Ed Bradley said to Springsteen when he turned 60.
Right.
And Ed Bradley said, we visited Bruce at his farmhouse in New Jersey, and I asked him about his life and why he continues to do what he does. And Ed Bradley said, "You're 60. You just announced a 19-month, 340-show tour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why are you doing this?" And Bruce went, I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah. I think there are some guys that genuinely do get excited about the idea of what might be next. And
Joe doesn't.
Am I going to, like Jamal Lewis, it sets up like conventions and thrives on it the way that he did on football. Like his juices get
I just
flowing.
didn't think this was Joe. I thought Joe would do 2 teams and go, okay, I've had enough. Made $150 million, I'm good.
Getting to know
I'll open a
the
French
more
fry
I
place.
talked, the more I talked to Joe over the years, the more I got the sense of I don't care about any. I don't have other passions. I don't have other interests.
He's got one other passion.
Man, making kids. Like he's very good at that
So
too.
you got 8 of them.
It seems like it.
He and Phil Rivers.
Right. He's not excited about the prospect of coaching. He's not excited about the prospect of doing media. He's not excited about none of those things. He might do something like that inevitably because he has to, but none of it interests him.
I mean, Milk Toast called and said, "Hey Joe, get livelier."
Right, correct. Yeah, show a little bit. He just doesn't. Honest to God.
Okay.
If
that's worked for him because people love him because he's like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I would say is I think it's highly likely that Joe ends up doing the
Joe winds up in Baltimore?
No, the celebrity golf circuit.
Okay.
I think that's a highly likely thing for him to do at some point, but at some point. I think if he could be involved in something that was baseball related, he would be like if somebody approached him about owning a minor league baseball
There's a GM
team.
position open in Baltimore.
There is that. I'm not opposed. And apparently it's a meaningless GM position, so he can't really screw it up. But I think if somebody approached him about owning a minor league baseball team, that might be something that he would actually have some interest in and want to be involved with.
Him, but it's clearly him.
I just think he's.
I mean, he'll be in New Orleans by Thanksgiving. Once the Bengals cut him, he'll be in New Orleans. He hasn't played there yet.
It depends on how quickly they play him, right? Because if they give it 2 more weeks before they play him, then he'll need to play for 4 weeks before.
Okay.
Well,
he's playing here on Thanksgiving.
Oh, 100% he's playing.
I mean,
here on
NBC has already called. NBC's already definitely called both the league and the Ravens and the Bengals and said,
make sure
Flacco plays in that game.
Make sure that's the case. All right. Would you rather number 1? Would you rather?
Yes.
Roquan Smith is back this week, but Marlon Humphrey is actually done for the year.
Ooh.
Or Marlon's back this week, but Roquan Smith is done for the year.
Yeah. Is this why they're bringing in all these safeties and DBs?
They didn't brought in a corner yet.
I know. Well, I don't know. CJGJ played.
He's a safety.
I hate to say anybody out for the year.
Right, but that's the scenario. You have to do that.
Yeah, I prefer them both to be back in 2 weeks or whatever it is.
I think
I'd like them both to play on Sunday.
I don't know if we can survive without either one of them, but I'll take Roquan over Humphrey.
Okay.
I just
give a follow-up thought to it, or are you just going to
not
matter
really.
of fact? Thank you.
Yeah, not really.
Roquan had a great game,
He did have one great game.
He had one
this
great
year.
game. Marlon has not had one great game this year. So if we're trying to ask, is one of them, more
by the way,
towards
just
closer to the
whatever
tail
he
end?
says, I'm agreeing with.
Is that what we're doing now?
Well, it sounds like he's playing this out pretty well.
Okay.
So
pretty good.
Roquan,
He's pretty good, this kid.
I would also say. I mean, the middle linebacker, you can't run with 2 rookie or
see?
it's not
Yeah,
two
but
rookies,
I also
Trenton
think
Simpson seems like a rookie.
I understand that. I would also say that they still might be able to just sign somebody off the street that can play a competent inside linebacker,
No, this guy's got the answer.
Which you can't do at corner.
Base has got the answer.
Griffin Base.
Yeah, he's got the
That's
answer.
They call him. It's like the old David Bowie, or the Bowie Bay Sox, as people like to call them over the years. The Bowie Bay Sox. I am torn, right, because the higher end of Roquan Smith is more impactful than the higher end to me of Marlon Humphrey, but it's almost a ceiling floor conversation.
I mean,
right?
is Teddy what does this team look like if Teddy Buchanan is wearing the green dot for the next 12 games?
I don't think Teddy Buchanan will be. Even if Roquan Smith doesn't play, I think they're going to say in 2 weeks, we're going to do something else. There's someone somewhere that can play the position. I don't think you can do that at corner.
Anyone who doesn't know how to spell their name is right away I'm against.
Oh, Teddy, that's your issue with them, is that extra E?
Teddy A.
Yeah. What and the extra E stands for?
I don't know.
Oh, I was really hoping you were prepared with something. I don't
know. It's just spell your name the right way. Right? Go ahead. Next.
Would you rather the Ravens do make one more move?
So you're saying Marlon?
Yeah, he says Marlon, but he's wrong.
I think I'm saying Marlon. I think I'm saying Marlon.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
They make one more move to add an edge, like a Kayvon Thibodeau or a Jalen Phillips, who might be dealt, or they make one more move.
I'll take Brian Burns, actually.
Yeah, okay. I don't think that's going to be the one.
Figure it out.
And
make it happen.
They make one more move, and it's to add a difference-making defensive tackle, like a Dexter Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got to get somebody to chase the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to. The answer is the edge guy. I mean, it's non-existent.
I think the Ravens have. Do they have the worst? They've got one of the worst run defenses in
the history of football.
In football right now too. I
If we played the Raiders, that guy
Travis
would run
Jones,
for 400 yards.
Yeah, I thought Travis Jones was better, could be more impactful.
I definitely felt that way myself.
Give us the edge.
Dexter Lawrence he is very much like Matt Abike, where he can contribute to both. I think Dexter Lawrence is
okay.
I am really torn about this because if you just said blanket general, would you rather have an edge or a defensive tackle? I'm always going to say edge, but it is so bad against the run right now. It is so ungodly against the run at the moment that I might be leaning towards.
The Texans just scored again. It's 51-10.
I understand. And they might keep scoring. That's the reality of what you're up against. To Griffin's point, Dexter Lawrence had 9 sacks a season ago on top of being now. I don't think you're getting that every year.
Sure,
I don't think that's who Dexter Lawrence is.
Right.
I think
Matt
that's the
Abike
highest
hasn't
end.
reached
100%.
Do you care that it was 44-10 last week and not 23-20? Does that matter to you?
It matters in the context of they were
maybe we could go into this week and be like maybe you do rest Lamar then and
it is one of the rare times I would say it's one of the rare times that I said and do say the score did matter last week.
Right.
Usually I am the guy that goes, it's a loss. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
13-10, who cares? 2017, 13-10, or 44-3. Nobody cares. It's a loss. Yeah. Last week was
but
an indictment.
That lifeless at home.
That was an indictment.
I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
That's their reality. And number 3, Drew, this is actually more impactful for you. You have a daughter. So you don't have to imagine this scenario. Griffin and I have to imagine the scenario. Would you rather you're meeting your daughter's boyfriend for the first time? Now, again, we'll advance a few years for your daughter. Let's make that abundantly clear.
Breaking out in hives.
You're advancing into, let's say she's in her 20s at this point, all right? You meet your daughter's boyfriend, and you find out.
Am I in a state where guns are legal?
Settle down. You find out he is a performance fartist.
What's that?
This from the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
A British fartist who toots on
British
command.
too? If he's British.
No, I'm not saying he's British.
Okay.
Takes the title for longest career as a flatulist. Congratulations to this gentleman, whose name is
not
Paul,
longest fart, just
Paul
just
Oldfield.
longest career.
He's had the longest career in the flatulence arts, which apparently is a thing where you perform in front of crowds.
You on late night television? What's that?
On social media. Perhaps you.
What do you mean perform?
You fart a song.
I got to hear the song.
Did you look
Is
it
the
up?
song any good?
I'll send it.
What is it, Light My Fire?
I'll send it. This is there's Joe on the
plane. Southwest Airlines. Boy, yeah, those Bengals.
By the way, that picture is like 5 years old.
Oh, it is.
I think it's earlier this year. I think
it's an old picture. It is not
Bengals.
has anything to do.
Spare no expense. Hey Joe, you want a window seat?
Yeah, right. He's got to pay for his own lunch today.
Right.
But I just check your messages. I just sent you a link to the performance fartist.
Right, this is.
Hang on.
I'm getting kind of wheezy here.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah. This is not good.
I think it's good to have a skill. I think that's always important that someone has a skill and they're good at something. I believe this came from Britain's Got Talent. I can't pretend that I'm.
Oh, Britain's Got Talent.
What?
I said no, they don't.
Well, I mean, some do. I think they produced. I don't know, the Oasis. People like Oasis, right? They're on tour right now. The Smiths, right? There's lots of talent. Yeah, come on. What are we doing here?
This is what the guy wears?
Led Zeppelin?
Yes, that's... Well,
what?
I'm not saying... Now, settle down. I'm not saying this is your daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
No, you are.
I'm saying this is his line of work.
Right,
get to the part where he performs.
Where,
get to that.
okay.
I don't know exactly where it is.
Should I
in the
just play
video.
the whole thing?
You
Then?
can don't play the whole
hit
thing.
It and
you can just scroll ahead and find it.
Whiz.
It's not, come on.
Why don't you hit play?
Yeah, right.
And then
You just have to adopt the farting position. Okay. You pick. Who's that? That was a good one. Music Maestro. Thank you.
Look at his fist grinning as he does it.
accomplish what we needed to
I mean,
accomplish.
I'm speechless.
Hang on a second.
And it does.
I wanted to see if it was got any better.
And it doesn't happen
So-
much.
so again-
I'm speechless.
Again,
No.
option one.
That's the
Hey,
greatest.
wait a second.
That's the greatest. It's the greatest thing I've ever.
Option one.
Go ahead.
You meet your daughter's boyfriend. He's a performance fartist.
Is he wearing that?
Or option two.
Okay.
You meet your daughter's boyfriend, and he is a hub son. Now, you're saying, what's a hub son? From the New York Post, headline, stay-at-home hub sons are the trad wives of 2025, and their moms couldn't be more thrilled. This is a new group. They introduce us to Luke Parkhurst, who is nearly 34 years old, jobless, and living rent-free at his mom's house. All he does is the cooking and the cleaning at his mom's house. He has no job. He lives at home with mom. He's 34 years old. This is a growing trend among millennial
Among
and
losers.
post-millennial men.
Among losers.
He does her laundry. He folds her unmentionables. The whole thing. So, Drew, start
Is
with
there
you.
a picture of this guy? Can I
This
see?
is
You can,
terrible.
yeah, I could send you the
I mean,
link
this
for
is
this guy as
terrible.
well. This is he takes care of the he cooks. He does the cooking. That's the first. Who might get kicked off the internet? Don't keep
We're getting
doing
kicked
that.
off.
Let me ask you this
Play big
question:
dog.
Do you have any idea what this guy's net worth is?
I don't.
The farter.
I don't. I know it's what he does. I know this is how he makes his living. That's all I've got for you. And there's here's Luke. I don't think the video is of the. I think it's an unrelated
Post.
video. But yeah, this is.
Well, I think this is an easy answer.
There's Luke. He works not at all.
Okay.
He does not have a job. He
I think
just
this is an
lives
easy-
at home with mom, and is a hub son. She does not have a husband. She's single. He lives at home with mom, takes care of things around the house, has no job, no source of income. Which would you rather?
I guess I would classify it like this: the first guy may or may not be a loser. The first guy may or may not be. There's something.
Maybe he just
there's
has a
something to be.
skill.
Well, there's something to be said for. He's created a
Look at Luke.
He's
Look at Luke
created a
making-
brand,
Making a steak for mom.
right?
These are staged photos, though.
But this first guy has created a brand for himself. He apparently has figured out a way, he's figured out a way to make a living from this odd personal, behavioral trait. He may or may not be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
This other dude
second guy
is a total loser.
So you're going with the fartist.
I am.
Why is he got to wear the costume?
No, I am. I'm going with the first guy because it shows a little bit of ingenuity.
The fartist.
It does. It does. It shows some. It shows a little bit of chutzpah.
Maybe he can perform at church.
He's definitely
this guy.
The farter's definitely got more personality.
This guy's a loser. This guy should. You want to know
Well,
what?
but
You know what?
Mom-
You want to know what would fix this dude?
Yeah.
Luke. He needs to get punched in the face.
Send him to see Jonathan Gannon.
He just needs to get punched in the face. And if somebody
Well, but
went
hang
up to
on,
him and punched him in the face,
but Mom-
he'd wake up.
Mom apparently has the means for which to not have a job and to be able to live at home.
And the
So
mother, I'm not going to say she should be punched in the face
Right.
because we're against that.
Right.
But the
We
mother
definitely
should be
are
ashamed of
against that.
herself.
Yeah.
The mother should also be ashamed of herself to be a party to this.
Griffin, one day you may have a daughter. I don't know. One
I
day.
mean, I'm just trying to imagine my sister, I guess, right now. You know, when she's
I'll take the
I'll take the farter.
Yeah. Either it's the fartist.
Because I think there's something else there behind the scenes that you never know. He might be able to pee out marbles someday or something.
What's that gonna do for you?
Make some money.
Get back on British Got Talent.
I don't know. But I like the fact that this dude's creative.
Griffin.
And he said, look, I didn't go to college. I didn't finish, but I got something for society.
I hate for Drew and I to go 3 for 3, you know, and in agreement on all three things. But
You're also
I think Drew's right.
the fartist. You're going with that.
I mean, this
You
it's
can't
the
deny
slightly
that this
lesser
guy-
of two evils.
Yeah, you can't deny that this dude. This is the American way.
If he didn't wear the costume, I think it'd be a home run.
You know what he could be? You want to know the truth? He could be the president.
God, I wish you weren't right.
You're right. Hubson's not going to be president.
No, you don't know that either.
No.
You don't know that
Not gonna
either.
be president.
Being a president takes some courage.
We elect a lot of people that don't have any qualifications.
And the Farter
we
definitely
do
has
a
courage.
really
Yep.
good job.
We sure
at
did.
electing
back in
unqualified.
2008.
Yeah, but this kid doesn't have any volition to even
Overwhelmingly,
the Farter, right?
Yes, people are going with the
Right.
Farter, but
and you know why?
Not totally.
But here's why. Because the people listening to this show are men.
Is that what it is?
Yes. And they know that guy, the other guy, what's it called?
The Hubson.
He's not a man. He's not. He's not. He's not a man. He's something else.
All right. Very good. We have to do
All right.
one more. We still have to wrap
I gotta
it up.
go.
God. All right. What do you want to plug? Drew'sMorningDish.com.
Good. Yeah. No, I mean,
my brother wanted to get you a hockey tidbit. If
I will not be here next week, by the way.
Oh, that's a shame.
All right, go ahead. What'd you say?
There are, because I was scanning, I don't know, I just pulled up the FanDuel yesterday. They have a bet for.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Artemi Panarin last night. You
Quickly.
scumbag.
We were already 2 hours in.
There was a bet you can bet on a team that is to hoist the Stanley Cup for the first time. So there are 10 teams that have never won the Stanley Cup. Can you name them?
10 teams that have never won the Stanley Cup? Of course. Flyers? No. 10 teams that never won the Stanley Cup. Seattle?
Yes.
Minnesota Wild?
Correct.
10 current teams.
Yes.
Not
10
like
current
defunct teams.
Yeah, Vancouver Canucks?
Yep.
Florida, yes, they have. Carolina has. New Jersey has. Detroit has.
Few.
Chicago has. Dallas has. Hold on. Just going through. Winnipeg has not.
Correct.
Edmonton fluked their way to a couple.
A few.
Ottawa has not. Ottawa got to the final but did not win.
Ottawa has not won.
How many is that so far?
That's 5.
That's 5. We've got a long way to go. There's so many new teams too. Like I'm just trying to go through. Where Utah has not.
Yep.
Mammoth.
Mammoth. Right. Forgot they were
Tusks
even
up
in the league.
You know what's really effing annoying is because when I got on ESPN years ago, I had the Coyotes as one of my favorite teams. They are now feeding me Mammoth, and I don't care enough to go in and
well,
fix
you're wearing
it.
Mammoth colors. So.
St. Louis did win a couple years ago, so they're Nashville has not.
Nashville has not.
How many is that?
7.
Wow. So there's still 3 more to go. Columbus has not.
Columbus has not.
That's 8. Boston has. Rangers have. Capitals have.
One East Coast, one West Coast.
Okay.
Don't make it.
I got it.
Sorry.
Take it easy.
God.
Anaheim did, but the how many teams are out there? There's Anaheim, there's San Jose, there's LA, and San Jose. I feel like San Jose has not won one. But because I feel that way, I'm going to say LA has not won one.
San Jose has not won one.
And
not won a Stanley
Kings
Cup.
was just a few years ago.
And I don't know. I kind of thought, and I guess maybe Dallas hasn't won one.
Oh no.
Am I missing one?
Yeah,
Am I missing a team?
You're missing one that's kind of obvious. They got there.
I'm
Did they get their recent? No.
I'm missing a team.
They got there. They had one of the great goalies in the history of the sport.
I'm missing a team. Like I'm missing a whole team. When you say it, I'm going to go, oh yeah, those guys. Because Florida has, Tampa Bay has. I'm just missing a whole team somewhere.
He told you it's on the East Coast. He did say that.
I mean, I'm drawing a total blank. Carolina's won one.
Okay, they have, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Capitals, Flyers.
Yep. Keep going.
Penguins,
Keep going.
New Jersey.
Keep going.
Rangers.
Keep going.
Boston. Boston's won one.
Right. There's one more.
Has Boston won?
Then I'm missing one.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sabres.
Yes.
Sabres.
I forgot they were in the league.
So now is the better bet you bet? So Winnipeg's got the best odds to win the Stanley Cup at or out of those teams.
I'll tell you who
at
I
like
really
plus
think is a
1800.
sleeper this year, honestly, is Minnesota. I think Minnesota's a sleeper. I picked today Carolina to beat Vegas in the final.
All right.
Carolina to beat
There
Vegas.
you go. There you go. Drew'sMorningDish.com.
Mitch
About Washington.
Mitch Marner.
That's where you can find it.
It won't be the Flyers. I'll tell you that.
We'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess.
Renegotiating.
Oh, boy. We'll give you 3 York
Got to meet with
patties.
Stan. Got to meet with Stan and Colson.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Drew Forrester, Drew'sMorningDish.com. We'll come back in. We will wind things down as we finish up on a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
Game day hits different with Live Casino's big plays, big pays hot seats. Head to Sports and Social on select Sundays and Mondays in October. We'll draw 10 hot seat winners every hour. When the home team scores, we'll double the prize pool. Plus, we'll give away $50 Sports and Social gift cards with every touchdown. Watch and win at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, winding down on a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of the program. Continue to get your responses in. We've had a robust response to this one this week. Somebody's getting a Flock Yeah t-shirt, so get your responses in at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com/Glenn Clark Radio, or at Glenn Clark Radio as well on Blue Sky. And again, someone who responds is registered to win that Flock Yeah t-shirt just for participating in Would You Rather Wednesday. All right. Did we get everything that we needed to get to today? I feel like we covered. We're going to find out shortly who's on the practice field, or have we already? God, it's 1 o'clock. Maybe we've already found that out.
I haven't seen anything yet, so maybe they.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't remember what time. I don't remember what time it is on Wednesdays anymore. And yes, as a few people have made the same joke, C.J. Stroud was named AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and it does feel a lot like.
Jonas shared it. Three of the 5 AFC Offensive Players of the Week. It was Josh Allen,
what about
Mahomes, and now Stroud.
What about the week they played the Lions?
Oh, I don't know who the NFC player was.
Yeah.
That's on Jonas if he didn't share it.
Yeah, way to go, Jonas. way to go. Jonas came on with me at 10 o'clock last night. I can't get after Jonas at all. God.
Came on with you at 10?
10. Well, I wasn't supposed to talk about sports until the 10 o'clock hour. And then all of a sudden they're like, talk about sports at 8 o'clock. I said, well, okay. All right. You got it.
You're right. I mean, maybe it was David Montgomery.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't know who it was. But
Jeez, 4 offensive player of the week.
Well, I don't know that it was.
It probably was. It should have been.
Yeah,
if it
but
wasn't.
don't. You're just saying.
It should have been if it
things
wasn't.
now.
I mean, I don't know who.
For God's sakes.
And everything I'm seeing is from his touchdown pass over the weekend.
All right. Hang on. They normally include it when they send out the. Who was? Oh no, they didn't.
Week 3.
They didn't include it.
NFC player.
Yeah, week 3 NFC player of the week was. NFC players of the week 2025. Hi. Here we go. It was Caleb Williams. It was not.
Well, that's a bad choice.
So there you go. It's only the 3. All right. Tidbit. Oh, did we already do tidbit? Or
I did, but I have a lot because
all right, fine.
Good
tidbit is brought to you by.
Oh, I forgot to show. I wanted to show Drew the video of Jerry Jones flipping off the fans.
All right. Did you hear his excuse?
I made a mistake. I thought I hit the wrong button.
I thought I was giving a thumbs up, and it came out as a middle finger.
You get lost in translation all the time.
I mean, to be fair, he's 100 years old. That actually might be true. It's possible. Tidbit is brought to you by CountySports.Zone. Everything you need to know about high school sports in the state of Maryland. They've got you covered. CountySports.Zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com.
Best ratings for a Navy Air Force game since 2013 on Saturday.
Right.
Nearly 1.4 million tuned in. Most
it's not
viewership.
Enough.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell else you were watching.
I agree. 4 potential elimination games today in the baseball. In the history of the division series, so since 1995, there's been 1 year where all 4 division series ended on the same day. That was, of course, October 5th, 1996.
Yes.
So we have a repeat.
Well, that means that the Orioles are one of them.
Oh, they were.
They played. That was the Mariners that year. They beat the Mariners in the division series in 1996.
The Mariners will close things out today.
I don't remember what day of the week it was. I remember that famously. That was the year that Jeff Rabelais hit a home run off of Randy Johnson in the division series.
The series.
Yeah. Wait, no, that was 97. Piss. 96 was Cleveland.
So did they lose to Cleveland back-to-back years, though?
No, they beat Cleveland in the 96 division series, lost to Cleveland in the 97 ALCS.
So they made the ALCS back-to-back.
Yes. In 96, they beat Cleveland in the division series.
Okay, so they were one of the eliminators.
And then lost to the Yankees in the ALCS.
Gotcha.
In 97, they beat Seattle in the division series, then lost to Cleveland in the ALCS.
Okay.
They went up 2-0. That was back when it was a bizarre thing they did in the division series where the lower seed hosted the first 2 games.
Well, that was like 2012 too, right?
It was still that way in 2012?
Yeah, because I remember I went to because the Orioles made the ALDS and I went to both.
Oh, and they played against the Yankees,
yeah,
right?
Game 1 and 2
yeah, they were because then they played the last 3
in New York.
In the higher seed got to host the last 3, but that was always insane.
So did they do that for like 15 years?
They did it for, I guess, since they introduced the division series. I did forget that was what they did. You're right. That's what they did in 2012. Games 1 and 2 were definitely in Baltimore. But so they got to host games 1 and 2. They went up 2-0. They lost game 3 in Cleveland, but then won game 4.
Third for the Bengals, third in-season player trade they've ever made since 1973.
Okay, good for them.
The first was in 2020. They traded for B.J. Finney. They traded Carlos Dunlap to the Seahawks.
I forgot about that.
They traded for Khalil Herbert last year.
Oh, right, they did. Yeah, after Zach Moss got hurt.
Yeah,
right?
And then Chase Brown just took over anyway. And then Joe Flacco,
third
player.
It'd be nice if he would do that again.
Sorry, Joe Flacco is the third intra-division trade involving a quarterback since 2000. I think it also is all time, but all 3 have happened since 2000.
Sure.
2001.
No.
Come on.
No.
Patriots traded Drew Bledsoe to the Bills.
Oh, that's right, they did. But that wasn't in season.
No, that was not in season. Yeah. This is the first in-season intra-division quarterback trade.
Yeah, that was
the Eagles in 2010 when they traded Donovan McNabb to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and now Joe Flacco to.
It's the first time it's ever happened in season.
Yes. And then John was asking about the last time the Ravens were this big underdogs at home, and it was, I think Jameson Hensley shared it yesterday, it was the last time that they were 7-point underdogs at home was also against the Rams in 22 when or it was the 21 season. It was whatever. It was like January 1st, 2022, when Huntley was quarterback because Lamar. This was one of the years that Lamar missed the back end of the season. They have been 9-point underdogs or larger 6 times. Go ahead and name each time that they were 9 point. The largest time, their largest home underdog in 2007, they were 19.5-point underdogs.
2007?
Yeah.
That was
so this was
that
the bad
was when
year.
McNair got hurt.
Yeah.
And then they were playing Troy Smith, I think.
Did Bowler play at all or no?
Bowler,
or was he hurt too? Or
I remember
they went 5-11.
They
right?
might have played Bowler first, then they played. I do remember Troy Smith played at the end of the year. They might have played Bowler a bit before they played Troy Smith.
This was the year Billick got fired.
Yes, correct. This was when they lost the Dolphins.
So there was a team that was going undefeated that year almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Patriots were 19.5-point favorites in Baltimore.
Well, and also the Ravens almost won.
They almost won that. Yeah.
The only reason they lost. Remember, I think it was Rex Ryan it was a 4th down play, and they stopped them, but we didn't see that Rex Ryan had taken a timeout. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was either a Monday night or a Sunday. It was a primetime game. They were massive underdogs, and they had them dead to rights. Yeah,
December 3rd.
that was brutal.
I don't know which time which day it was. They were 11-point underdogs against the Steelers in 2015. So that was the injury-riddled year.
Joe Flacco got hurt.
So twice in 2015, they were 10.5-point underdogs to Seattle at home. They lost by 30. And then when they were 11-point underdogs to Pittsburgh.
It was a Monday night game.
That Patriots one.
Yeah.
And then when they were 11-point underdogs to the Steelers at home that year in 2015 and won.
Okay. Yeah. Right. With Ryan Mallett as quarterback. Yeah.
In '98 they were 10-point underdogs.
I think at this point they should be they should have to wear the mustard pants. Like I almost think this group of players should be forced to wear the mustard pants. Like it's that bad.
CJGJ makes his debut in the mustard pants.
There you go.
They were 10-point underdogs to the Vikings in '98 in December of that year. They were 9-point underdogs against the Packers in that same year that they were against the Rams. And they almost won that one.
All right.
Almost 31-30.
Very good. Oh, that was – didn't they go for 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
They went for 2.
They did not get it.
Didn't get it. Yep.
Yeah. And then they had – was that how the Rams game ended too? Because they lost 20-19 in that one.
Oh, maybe it was one of them and not the other one. I think that only happened once, where they went for 2 at the end. And
I remember they were both.
Maybe the other one was the other team went for 2 and got it.
Yeah, was it the Rams went for 2 and got it?
Might be the case.
God, what a time.
Yep. All right, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Here's what's coming up tubular-wise. Tubular is brought to you by Project Game Day. Don't forget, we'll be back on Sunday, PressBoxOnline.com/Game Day, immediately following whatever happens between the Ravens and Rams. Myself, Rita, KZ, Stecca, Griffin, and Tyus Bowser, former Ravens linebacker, will be talking to you about it. PressBoxOnline.com/Game Day. It is brought to you by Game Day Men's Health, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, the Costas Inn, and Live Casino and Hotel. As Griffin mentioned, 4 elimination games in the MLB playoffs. It starts this afternoon, 3:08 on Fox Sports 1. Mariners-Tigers, Game 4, Bryce Miller and Casey Mize. I'm sure you all have seen, I think the guy that caught Cal Raleigh's home run last night was wearing a T-shirt that said, was it dump
here?
Dump number 61
dump
here.
61 here.
I believe is what it said, and then he hit the home run right to the guy.
And then did you see he took that shirt off?
Oh.
And he had a dump 62
shirt I didn't
ready.
see that. That's great.
Yep.
That's great. But yeah, Bryce Miller, Casey Mize for that one. FS1 will have the other American League game, Blue Jays-Yankees, Game 4 tonight at 7:08. Lewis Varland is the opener against Cam Schlittler. TBS for the NL Game 3s. Cubs try to stay alive against the Brewers at 5:08. Quinn Priester and Jamison Ty on the pitching matchup there. Phillies-Dodgers, Game 3 at 9:08. Aaron Nola and Yoshinobu Yamamoto as the Dodgers try to close it out at home. Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. Critical Game 3 for our Mercury as they take on the Aces tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN. And then the Capitals season opener is tonight, 7:30 against the Bruins on TNT. Everything else you can find at GlennClarkRadio.com. Non-sports.
Abbott, Survivor, and Is It Cake Halloween on Netflix.
It's more bloody or something. I'm not sure. Whatever.
I don't know if it's cake or not.
Not for me. Yeah. I don't really know how that show works. It either is or it isn't.
Right.
Like,
well, you got to guess.
How is that a TV show?
Well, they have people, and I think I don't know what they win, but they're like, hey, what do you think?
Not going to do it for me.
This monitor right here.
Yeah.
Could be cake.
It's a TikTok. That's what it is. That's a TikTok. Nothing else.
And then you're like, I can't believe that wasn't cake. Or that was
All right, we got to
cake.
go. We've been on for 2.5 hours. Thanks today to Drew, I guess, for stopping by. Thanks to Dan Wilcox. Thanks also to Eli Heidenreich from Navy. We'll get all that up in the greatest hits section of the
Taylor Swift will be on Seth Meyers too.
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com.
An album or something that came out.
I don't know. Is she doing SNL this week? That would. Why is she just hanging? Because wasn't she
SNL
on
this
Fallon?
week.
Who is SNL this week? I haven't watched the Bad Bunny SNL.
It is no, it is not. It is Amy Poehler and Role Model.
Oh, they do that. Sally, that when
Role
the
Model.
Sally when the wine runs out song. That's a great song. Actually,
I have no idea
that's a
who
really
Role
good
Model
song.
is.
I don't really know anything. It might be a guy. It might be a band. I don't know, but I like that
Why
song.
is Amy Poehler hosting?
Who cares?
I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, like,
you're
it's
right.
Amy
You're
Poehler.
right. You're right.
Like, what? Who possibly could care what she's plucking? Just call Amy Poehler and let her host. All right. Thanks to everybody. Tomorrow on the program, Marty Morningweg's going to join us. Talk about the plight of the Ravens.
And then I believe KZ will be back. Yes.
Make some picks, stuff and things. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors and partners.
So I'm sure that means Tina Fey will be around.
Maybe. I don't know. I know it does seem like they're joined at the hip. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Live Casino and
Maybe
Hotel.
Rachel Trask will come back too.
Game Day Men's Health.
Trask
as
was
well
on
as
Amy Poehler's podcast recently.
CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Costas Inn, Nick's Fish House, the Maryland 5-star, and more. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Blue Jays. Duke sucks.